needs a few updates. Needs about 30 years of updates. Oh, 1967 Lincoln Continental.
Oh, I love these cars.
The problem is, you ain't looking good. There's no floor over here.
Whether we did it or not, we gotta fix it.
And hope he likes it enough he won't put us in jail. Check it out. I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal. I'm on my way to see Earl. He's a great dude with an awesome collection of custom cars. Earl has an excellent eye. He has another project for me to come take a look at.
Hey man, how you doing?
Thanks for having me out, man.
You like the place?
You got an awesome place here. This is really, really cool.
Well, this is my addiction, I guess you could call it.
I see that. Addiction is right. Earl only buys stuff that he can't live without.
You want to go look at the project I was talking about?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Okay, it's right behind you.
That?
No, not the Corvette.
Oh, come on, man.
It's a 1923 Model T four-door.
Yeah?
What is it going to take to put that in there?
What?
You ever seen a 1923 Ford?
I've seen a Ford, but not with a flown big block in it.
Just go look at the truck, okay?
Okay, thank you. You almost got me on that.
Okay, Bill, there it is.
The purple one, huh? Does this thing run?
Yeah, it runs. It's got a big old 502 big block in it with a 871 blower. Runs like a top. It's a dated truck, but it's a beautiful truck. We just need to update it, bring it back into this century, I guess you could call it.
And how much horsepower is this old motor?
It's 800 horsepower.
That makes a fun little ride, huh?
It'll make you scream like a little girl.
This is a classic Chevy truck shield, and the bed floor was made out of wood back in the day.
But one of the bad deals about the truck, this thing doesn't stop.
Maybe upgrade the brakes a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Definitely want you to be safe.
A lot of horsepower.
Has a good stance, but I think wheels and tires is one of the major things we need to address. I don't know about this interior. When was this thing built?
It was built in 1995. It's been a while. It's dated.
Of course, the truck was built in 1955. We're talking now about when it had all its custom work done. The hardest part about working on an old custom build is not really knowing what you're getting into till you crack it open.
What about the bed on the truck?
We definitely need to bring some color in here. Maybe take out the aluminum, put some wood in it. You know, give it a classy look. Relocate the battery.
What do you think about the back end of the truck?
But I don't know about the bow ties there.
What's wrong?
Man.
It's a Chevy, man. It's a bow tie.
No,
you don't
that's
like those?
That's the first thing it's gonna go. You gonna let me drive?
You really want to drive this truck?
Come on, come on.
What are we going to do if we run off the end down there and that thing doesn't stop?
We'll fix it.
Bill wants to test drive this truck, which is fine with me. It's his funeral. But the only thing is he's wanting me to ride with him, and I don't know if that's too good of an idea. Now remember, there's no brakes on this thing.
Runs pretty good.
Let's go put it on your truck before we tear it up.
You know, I love Houston. You got everything on wheels here, and Extensive gets to build them all. We're on the northeast side of town. Some people say it's a rough side of town. But I built my first car here, and we're not going anywhere. For me, when you first look at a custom car, the customization shouldn't stick out like a sore thumb. Earl's truck is the exact opposite, which was all the rage back in the 90s. From the dash to seats, rear view mirror to the scoop. I mean, we definitely have to change the scoop. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun bringing this truck up into the 20. What up, Timmy? You ready to get going on this thing?
I don't know what the worst part is. It's outdated.
Dang, who brought in the Barney Mobile? And what is all over it?
Man, it's been sitting for quite a while, as
I
you
can
can
tell.
tell. It needs a few updates.
It needs about 30 years of updates.
Yes.
What are we doing?
The overall truck isn't bad. Earl's truck is already a hot rod, but it races a lot better than it looks. So I'm getting rid of the 90s and turning this 55 Chevy into a high-class, timeless truck. He likes the blower look coming through the hood, so what we'll do is take his hood, cut a hole in it, we'll trim it back out, and we'll get a different scoop for the blower.
That thing is dated.
Definitely wheels and tires. 2415 back here. 22 in the front with the low-profile tire. And definitely we got to put a bigger brake kit on this thing. Check this out.
Ah, Fonzie. What's up with that?
I want to completely modernize and bring this interior up to the next level. Door panels, seats, headliner, even the speaker box has to be redone in this thing. The inside of this bed is just
Ugly?
It's ugly. We got to get rid of the aluminum, man. Just rip it completely out. Wood bed floor, take this battery out, clean look. I don't know what we're going to do with the little gas filler yet.
Man, we'll put a nice spinner on it.
Pass that down for
Bill has a vision for this truck, and I need to get the parts he needs to make it happen. A lot of parts.
Look back here.
Oh, yeah, that really dates it. That definitely screams 90s.
Maybe that's why this truck didn't want to stop. They don't want anybody to see these tail lights.
Yes.
You know, I'm putting Tim in charge of this build. I've known Tim a long time. He's my right-hand man.
Take this out? This out? We don't know what's behind it yet. Crypto rust. Ain't no telling. It's already purple, so that's one strike. Watch this side. And it's not as bad as we thought, but it's not as good as we thought either. Put a wood bed in this truck, we're going to redo the whole structure. It's all out of whack and unlevel. What's in here now is not going to cut it.
I've got a mistake with that one for buying beer, man.
Hey, be real careful with these. I think we're just going to paint them, put them back in. Don't dent them or throw them around. Hey, hold up. Problem.
Damn.
When working on somebody else's custom work, nothing is standard, and it's usually going to take some extra time to figure it out. The steering console, you have to take it apart to make it work. Pull that wheel off and pull the other wheel off. Is there enough slack to pull it?
I mean, remove the bolts.
Take the... This rod's fixed. There's only so much play. We're going to loosen the column, pull it back about a ½ inch.
Here,
Yeah.
put it.
Okay, go ahead. All right, that's good, that's good. No dents, we're good. We're gonna make this thing not so ugly. Love that, man. The big purple people eater. Earl was afraid to cut the hole in the hood himself. We're gonna do it for him. But before we do that, we need to add this spacer underneath the blower.
Oh, yeah.
We're putting this 4-inch spacer underneath the blower. That's going to give it the rise that we need. Then we put the cut hood on. The blower will stick higher than the hood to give you that badass hot rod look. Hey, can you hand us that, please?
Dang, I was just trying to, and I almost made it too.
Good over there?
Yeah, just good.
The belt's not going to fit.
Well, this sucks. We're going to have a bit of a problem with our tensioner here, so it looks like we're going to have to take the whole damn radiator out of here. Just for one bolt.
Yep, one bolt.
Oh, let's quit bitching about it and just do it. Oh.
Hey, lift the lift up.
Well, so you can get your big ass out of there.
I'm on a diet. It looks pretty good, too. I like it. much better.
We're gonna try it and see if we can get lucky and just drop this radiator out of the way enough to get to this tensioner bolt right here. That way we don't have to take the entire radiator out just to be able to get this belt on. There we go.
Watch fingers.
Alright.
Done?
Finally.
Let's go cut a hole in the hood.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Perfect. 24.
I always get kind of nervous when I have to do shit like this.
That is the original hood.
Point of no return. Hold the hood.
Ryan has one shot to make this cut. If he messes it up, we're gonna have to find another hood. You having fun?
Tons.
Hi, Mom. Let's see if it fits.
Come my way.
Now that the hood's on with the new scoop, this truck looks way better, even if it's still purple. It's Bird.
I hope so. Bird's always wanted a custom car, so a few weeks back he brought in his 1967 Lincoln Continental.
What's up?
Man, don't be scaring us like this, man. We've done the air suspension on Bird's convertible. Tim, show him what's up. Drop it down.
Nice. I like that. I like that. That's nice. All the way to the ground.
But I hate to let anything go home from the shop looking like that. Super dependable. It's gonna ride good, handle good. Only problem is you ain't looking good.
I ain't looking good, huh? Hey, it looks good when it's on the ground, but it ain't looking look good. So what are you actually thinking about?
I ain't even gotta tell you the paint needs to be done.
True.
What color?
I love a lot of colors. I like the black. You might have to surprise me. I'm not really sure, but...
So we do get to surprise you.
Well, as long as it's not pink.
No, you ain't Elvis. The top, I don't even know what that is. It's gonna be down most of the time, but even when it's up, it still should turn heads. Everybody and their mom is riding around with a Lincoln with these wheels and tires.
Okay. Well, I don't want to be like any other Lincoln around. I want to pull up to another Lincoln. I want him to be jealous of my Lincoln.
Interior?
It's 50 years old. There's no reason. Well, you already got the suspension done.
True. If you want to take it to the next level, I'm all for it. I plan on taking my car home today, but looks like you upsold me to everything else, so you better do a good job.
Man, we got you on this one. And I need you to get me out of some tickets.
Again?
You know, normally I just like to look over everything before we tear cars totally apart. But, you know, in this case, the car's pretty much already tore itself apart. There's no floor over here. The floor mat was covering a huge, huge hole. You can see the concrete. It's just typical. It's one more thing. Right now, this thing stands out for being outdated and run down. I'm gonna make it stand out as a sleek, modern, one-of-a-kind 67 Lincoln. We'll finish the air suspension off with black wheels, chrome lip, and 22-inch tires. We're gonna get rid of this powder blue, bring in a metallic color, make this thing way more respectable. Inside, we're gonna modernize the seats, dash, and the door panels. And we'll top it all off with a brand new black convertible top. Man, what the hell is this thing doing here? Heath and John are two of the best interior guys I know, so I asked them to tear the Lincoln down and build it back up smart and sophisticated.
Does the top even work?
Maybe.
Woo, man. That's a lot of technology for a 67. This Lincoln is one of the last Lincolns that had the cool little transformer top thingy that went back down in the back and the suicide doors. Made it really cool, man. It's kind of sad to see they stop making it. And let's figure out how to get this sucker apart. It just pulled off. It just ripped the rubber. Sprack is still stuck in. Broke the rubber. But don't end up pregnant. Hope I don't look this bad at 50 years old. Top is off.
We're going to be rebuilding the entire interior of this car. We're going to fix the dash. We're going to do door panels. We're going to be doing carpet. We're going to be doing fresh seats in it. Make it all custom. It's going to be pretty bad.
Let's set it on this trash can right now.
Where it belongs. Well,
It's ripping.
here's the fun part. There's a lot of rust color under here, man.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's still a little damp.
That is nasty. It smells like wet dog ass.
It's going to be bad.
Heath and John are finished stripping out Bird's 67 Lincoln. It's time to take a look at the damage. What you guys got going?
It's not looking too good. We thought you might want to see this, brother.
It's like Swiss cheese down here, man.
I guess it could be worse. Could be like that side. Oh,
Watch your leg.
man, messed my socks up. All kidding aside, it's a common problem with convertibles. Leaky roof, rusty floor. At least the rest of it, there's a little bit of floor left here, right?
Yeah, we're good.
Either way, little hole, big hole,
We gotta fix it.
we
anyway.
gotta fix it. I'll get the body guys to just make new floor pans. Just save us some time waiting on parts. Get everything out, man. We'll get over to the body shop. We'll get rolling on it. Yeah.
All this stuff come out.
Damn, man.
Now that Harold and Eddie have all the rust out of the way,
Amazing.
it's not a tough job. It just takes extra time. Oh, man, I thought the floorboards were bad. 50 years in the Houston weather has done a number on this car, inside and out.
El queso está en todos los paneles. No sirve. Está podrido.
What do you say?
He said the cheese is on the molding. It's no good. It's all rusty.
Jesus, look. Come on, man. Let's get this stuff cut out, man. You can fix all that, huh?
Yo no hago milagros.
He can do miracles.
Just like any custom job, it snowballs. You got problem after problem.
What can
No
do?
más cheese.
No más cheese.
I'll do what I can, but this is on Fernando now. Tim and Ryan made the front of this 55 Chevy timeless, but the bed, it's got a few issues.
Dude, the subframe somebody built in the 90s isn't going to work with the bed wood.
Of course not. The plan is to put wood in the bed, but once we took the aluminum out, there's no structure there to support the wood. We'll just add some flat bar to it. As far as like the sides and the tailgate, that's a whole nother issue.
So we can just like buy a new bed, be a little easier than working with all this.
Come on, man. When Tim and Ryan get done with that truck bed, it's going to be a smoother, cleaner look with plenty of support for the wood.
You know how when they say watch your eyes? How the hell am I gonna watch my eyes?
Now we'll have to measure, cut, and weld sheet metal on all four sides to make it straighter and stronger than it was before. Fits like OJ's glove. There's absolutely nothing better to do in 105-degree weather than welding. Welcome to Texas.
With Tim and Ryan busy on the truck bed, I asked Heath and John to check out the interior on the 55 Chevy.
hand tight, dude.
Yeah, and I did very well. Easier.
The plan is to tear it all down and build something fresh and classy.
Wow, look at that.
That looks professional.
Hide it behind the panel, they said. No one will ever see it.
Now it's on national television. That's one tangled mess of wires to add to our day.
Like it wasn't enough already.
Exactly.
That's just not acceptable. We can't turn anything out looking like this. Whether we did it or not, we gotta fix it.
What we're gonna do today on the Arts and Crafts is we're gonna make our door handles for our 1955 Chevy truck. Made an initial piece that we're gonna use to go ahead and get it all lined up, make sure our shape's gonna be right. I've gotta duplicate it and put a base on it to be able to pull the door closed and keep a cool line on this armrest / door pull. What we're basically trying to do is just give us a shape so we can lay our fiberglass over the top. Now, all we gotta do is lay some fiberglass on, body work it out.
The old interior definitely wasn't our style. The design was all over the place. It just looked kind of pieced together. It didn't look like it was a complete thought. It looked like a bunch of different thoughts. We need continuity, flow in this project, so we want to make sure that all of our, take a subwoofer enclosure that fits our design points everywhere we need them. Nice subwoofer in it, great sound, good curves, brings the design up to our standards. The box is all fleeced up. Now all we got left to do, add a little fiberglass to it, reinforce from the backside, and we'll be ready to move on to the next step.
All right, now we start glassing this sucker up. Fiberglass is just gonna give us some strength. Just tighten it up a little bit. You could use just a chipboard, but over time it can get a little weak on you. But we don't need many coats. 2 layers ought to be plenty on this. It's nothing structural, it's just cosmetic.
I've taken some 1/4-inch chop strand and mixed it up with some fiberglass resin in a can. This will give us our strength that we need for the enclosure. This is going to reinforce the box because the fleece by itself and the bodywork that's on it isn't strong enough to hold the pressures and the vibrations of the subwoofer. So this will give us our density and our mass that we need to hold everything together.
It's a nice job. No. Take a piece of angle iron right here, aluminum angle, and we mount it to the metal surface of the door. That way, whenever we go to close the door, it will actually pull on the metal of the truck instead of the door panel.
So we're going to take our panel board, glue it in, and get it to match the truck. That way we have nice continuity and flow all the way into the door panels.
We're going to go ahead and wrap the base panel, and then we'll finish sculpting our inserts and wrap those. We got a nice panel. It looks like it's going like a Bentley, but it's going in a hot rod truck from Texas.
Heath and I work closely together to make sure that our designs work as one.
What you thinking?
I'm thinking we're going to come across the top with the same pleats that you have going on in the door panel.
Being in sync with each other really makes a difference when it comes to design. So it doesn't look like one person started, another person tried to finish it like that.
And the same aluminum
Strip in the middle.
That's the plan.
Just make it cool, man. Man, those are some nice pressed pleats there, John. Can you make me some boots like that?
Make you some draws. The speaker box is going to look great. It's going to give Earl plenty of leg room, and more importantly, it's going to sound better.
Now all you got to do is get it done.
I'm working on it, man.
The interior shop is grinding to bring a touch of class to this 55 Chevy truck. Heath is hand-making custom door panels, and John, he's making a new speaker box.
Bottom insert, our armrest, and our piece of aluminum. And ooh-wee, look at that. We got a pretty panel.
Not too bad. It almost looks as good as my box does.
Almost. Huh?
Almost. You keep working at it one day,
one day I'll know what the hell I'm doing.
you'll get there. Heath has one more door panel to do. I don't have the heart to tell him that I'm almost done. That's what it's going to end up looking like. All we have left to do now is attach our aluminum into our insert, and then glue the insert in place, and it'll be ready to go in the truck.
Tim and Ryan are bringing Earl's 55 Chevy truck back from that 90s rebuild.
You remember your 90s?
No. I was a baby in the 90s, man.
With this big block in it, one of the most important things is an upgrade for the brakes.
These will probably be in a vintage resale shop real soon.
For $25.
Earl's truck has a big block V8 in it. With everything Earl's done to it, it's got over 800 horsepower. Plus, it makes these things super heavy. We're gonna have to make sure this truck has some real stopping power.
It's a Capette.
Here.
Don't drop that thing, dude. That costs more than your whole week's worth of work.
Wear it again.
I feel like I'm gonna pull the whole truck off the lift.
Yeah.
There it is.
What do you think? Looks a lot better?
Look at this and that.
Definitely. It's gonna stop way better too.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. All right, 3 more to go.
San Fernando is performing miracles back there on the body of the 67 Lincoln. Next up is prime and paint. I asked Bird to trust me to choose a color that would really stand out, so I chose a really nice metallic gray. It's dark, it's almost black, but it'll really take this Lincoln to the next level. Few more final touches, we're ready to give Bird this badass car. I'm sure this thing is going to stand out from all the other Lincolns.
Let's get these door panels put on.
All right, so we got all the doors wrapped up on Bird's 67 Lincoln. And all we got to do, give it to him, and hope that he likes it enough he won't put us in jail.
We're up here at the police department today. We have an awesome surprise for Bird. I gathered everybody up, Bird's colleagues and friends. He has no idea, so it's really going to be a true surprise.
He should be at work anytime, right?
Ew. So, man, what are you doing here?
Well, he's wondering if you're going to get here.
Man, what's up?
We got a little surprise for you today.
Surprise for me there, huh?
You ready?
Yeah, man. Is it here? I think it's here.
Maybe.
I can't wait to see it. I'm very excited.
You ready to check it out?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Come on, Eddie, bring it in.
Yeah, it's nice, man.
There you go, Eddie, drop it down.
Nice. Really nice. Oh, I love it. Love it. Love it. Man, this is nice. Woo! You outdone yourself, man. You outdone yourself. From the color to the wheels, he's just looking immaculate. I'm shocked and surprised that's my car that he's driving up. It's mine, huh?
Same one.
Same one.
Come on, I want you to meet the guys. Eddie.
Eddie. So, man, appreciate it, man. Appreciate
Fernando.
it. Fernando.
San Fernando.
San Fernando.
Miracles on this body on this car right here. He went in hand-shaped new metal, welded it in, front to back. I mean, every bit of the chrome has been redone. All the stainless has been polished. No more rust. I think about this much. We didn't have to cut out.
Everywhere it was cheese. We call it cheese.
Appreciate it, man. I thank you a lot.
No, man,
I love it. You did a great job. When I first gave the car to Bill, so, I mean, he really outdone himself. It's a beautiful car.
Man, check out the inside of this thing. You can leave the top down now and not be embarrassed about it.
It's nice, man. It's nice.
John and Heath really showed their skills. I mean, look, the door panels light up around the bottom. All 4 doors are like that.
Interior is immaculate also. I love how the suede, a little leather in there, how they did a clean job all the way around with the little Lincoln extensions in the doors. I love it. It's beautiful. What's up with these wheels, man?
Man, 22-inch Forgiatos, they just set this thing totally apart from every other Lincoln.
It does. Love the color.
I hope it's a good surprise for you.
It is. It was a great surprise. Bill really knows what he's doing when he gets the color of the car. I trust him a lot to pick out the color, and I'm really excited and happy. And y'all done yourself, man.
Man, I didn't think you were going to be speechless.
I'm damn near speechless. I'm shocked. I'm damn near speechless. I am. I'm impressed. I really am. I'm still shocked that it's my car. I get to drive it on a daily basis if I really want to. Killer's young. Killer's nice. Drives nice. Rides good. Eye catcher.
I know you wanted to stand out, Bird.
Yeah, sir. Needed to stand out. Make him look good, man. Make him look, sir, like on top of the world. Yeah. And the car drives great. Feels good. It's everything I wanted in this car. I just love driving it.
The hood, the scoop, the bed are done on the 55 Chevy. Now Tim and Ryan can get rid of their worst feature on the truck. Say bye-bye bow ties. You done yet?
Almost.
That's fancy.
It is pretty fancy, huh?
Man, this thing's taking a lot longer than it should have.
Yep.
Now we can move forward to the taillights.
Finally, right?
Right.
Oh, got a problem. Dude, that is a lot of Bondo. Holy crap. There's gonna be a huge dent in this corner. I already know it.
Once again, working on somebody else's custom install brings up another surprise. That's probably why this bed's so damn heavy.
I should have just went with my idea. Bought a bed and started from scratch. About a half-inch of Bondo here, really crap from the start, or that somebody just was trying to hide a whole bunch of imperfections. I mean, they did a good job, it fooled me, but that's not the right way of doing stuff. Nothing leaves this shop looking like this.
God, ow.
I think we got a solution though. Kind of made a template. We'll cut the metal to this where the light will stick through, be flush. We'll center it here to here. Let you judge kind of how high you think it ought to be and lay it out like you normally do.
I'm gonna attempt to fix that big old dent that they got right there.
I think once you put some heat on it, it'll pull it out too.
I hope.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now that I got these cut out, this is one addition real bad on the bottom and it's staying kind of straight, kind of flat on the top. What I'm gonna do now is rip this out on the corner and see if I can get this bow out of here. Man, it's pretty good. Let's fit this bad boy in here and see if it works. I got these fit in here, everything looks real nice. A lot better than the bow ties. Now it's off the body.
Now all the metal work's done on the bed, it's off to the body shop to get all smoothed out. We're not gonna do stuff halfway around here. Obviously the bed needs paint. I called Earl, told him he needed to change the color of this truck. He said, cool. I guess he trusts me.
You should tell America. I was about to start helping him, I promise. What's up?
So you think you're done, huh?
This is never a good look.
Never.
Man, I've been thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. We gotta change the color. We have to.
Like the thing
Can't be having no Barney truck. I know he wants it back and all, but it's purple. I think the curves, the stance, the whole look of this truck, it needs a classy color. We'll call it Cafe Con Leche. Paint's drying, a million times better. After weeks of work, wheels and tires on, and get that wood in the bed.
Easy, easy, easy.
example of custom trucks, the custom world. All the sub racing of the floor was up, down, way to make it all smooth so the bed would fit. Now, 2.5 weeks later, I'm getting to do something that should have taken me maybe 2 hours. Now we're ready to install this custom interior, and this truck's ready to go back to Earl.
Taco time.
Taco time. What flavor we got?
I don't know.
Taco flavored tacos. I've never found a bad taco stand around here.
That's how I keep my girlish figure. I got into interior design with cars when I first started out as a car audio guy. And used to do a lot of big systems and stuff. That started dying out in the late 90s. Not as many people wanted big stereos. So it just kind of naturally progressed into me doing interiors and bringing some of that design concept into the interiors.
You're dropping stuff.
Messy tacos are good tacos.
If it's not in your lap, it ain't a good taco. It all started for me wanting something that I couldn't afford someone else to build for me, so got to make it myself. So that's the best way to learn. Hands-on, screw some things up, break some stuff, put it back together.
Still do a lot of that.
I don't want to be a thing playing with hot rods all day long. It's like Tonka toys.
Exactly. My family, for the longest time, thought I was crazy. It's not going to go anywhere. You know, they're like, it's a useless job. Nobody's going to pay any money for that stuff. Look at me now. We're on TV.
Hi, Mom.
Now that the 55 Chevy is back from paint, Earl's truck is looking good and timeless. Heath and John are installing their handmade headliner, door panels, console, and sub box.
Starting to look like a custom truck, man.
One of the last things we had to do is get rid of the old steering wheel and put something classy in its place.
The last time anyone ran flames on anything was back in the 90s, so I got a little fire extinguisher here.
Today's the big day. Bill's gonna bring me the truck. 2 months. He's banned me from his shop. This is a big day for me.
Occasionally, we've been known for going over the top. So today, we got a special surprise for Earl. Earl owns one of the biggest tugboat operations in the city. I asked his wife, Cheryl, if we could use one of his tugs to add to the surprise.
He's been looking forward to this so much. He's just driving me crazy.
Thank you for coming out to be with Earl today. You know, he's a huge car enthusiast. Man, I can't wait for you to check this out.
The thing is now, if I don't like the truck, you and Tim are going in the water.
So he's going to throw me in the water? No, not today. Earl, are you ready?
I am.
I'm ready for you too, man. Check it out.
I looked at the daggum trucks on a barge behind one of my push boats. It was awesome. How'd y'all do that? Oh my goodness. It's definitely not purple anymore.
What you think?
That is awesome. That really is awesome, Bill. Wow. Oh my goodness. It's a beautiful color. Bill nailed it. Well, tell me about what you did.
First, we had to raise a blower up for you. I know you wanted the scoop going all the way through the hood.
It was a solid hood. Remember, we cut it, put the hole in it, did the blower.
I like the hood. The hood on the truck finishes the truck out. The truck went so long without the hood because the blower and the hood wouldn't work together, and Bill made that work.
Lowered it a little bit, poured some new wheels, tires, big brakes to stop this big old thing.
Boy, them tires are killer.
I'm almost speechless, really. This is pretty awesome.
What's it look like on the inside?
Check it out.
Whoa, look at those door panels. I really like those armrests y'all did in there, man.
Every bit of that's all handmade.
That interior is just beautiful, and it really goes with the truck.
Took out the old lazy boy seats. You know, made it classy. I think this truck is classy now. You know, it goes fast. It's a race truck, but it still has class to it. No one's going to be complaining about this truck in 10 years. I mean, this thing is cool and timeless.
What a difference.
Definitely.
When you open the hood up, all that dull aluminum's gone, and it shows that jewel of that 871 blower. Hey, Bill, where are the tail lights? Is that them right there?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no more bow ties.
No more bow ties.
I think I might wear that at Halloween this year. Bow tie? Yeah. It's got a real thin coat of color over it, but they do shine through the paint.
So I'm not going to have the popo stopping me, am I?
Maybe for speeding.
Maybe for speeding. Wow, that blonde wood is killer in there.
We pulled up the old diamond plate bed floor,
Right.
and the subframe of it was kind of, so we couldn't lay wood on top of it. We had to reinforce all that and make it all straight. We were going to try to use the old panels, and Bill wasn't going to let us do that.
So there wasn't nothing done halfway.
No. Every car, every project goes out of the shop. I mean, that reflects me, you, and every guy working on it. So it has to be right.
Man, this is over the top, Bill.
I'm glad you like it.
Y'all really did a good job, man. There's only one issue I've got on this build. When you took me for a ride in the purple truck, you scared the crapola out of me. And we didn't have any back brakes. Well, guess what? It's my turn to do the drive.
Let's go check it out. You know, I can't say enough. Tim, the guys at the shop, they just always got my back. Building badass cars. Handmade air suspension. You know, laying it out's a big job. Can't wait to see this thing on the ground. I think it's bad.
2016 Lamborghini Aventador.
0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. Damn, we need to get this thing a little bit lower to the ground.
The Lambo? Ain't gonna work.
It ain't, man. Y'all ready to check it out? I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal. Man, it looks like it's on fire over here. Dorian, what's happening?
What's up, man? Spot?
Isabella and Dorian are a great couple. I'm in Houston. They've done work for me in the past, so it's only natural for them to come to me when they want a truck built. What is this?
A Grumman. It's an old bread truck.
You didn't pay anything for this, did you?
Nobody liked it, but I do. I see a lot of
Potential.
potential in it.
That's character.
Yeah.
Man, I think it's pretty cool. Grumman made the first all-aluminum body delivery trucks back in the 1950s. This one from 1963 is a classic.
I want to make it our vendor truck for our apparel company.
Dorian and Isabel just started Sunday Fun Day brand, which is them selling t-shirts at car shows. They want to make this bread truck into a mobile t-shirt company. It does run, right?
I think it does run.
Man, I hope it runs. What are we doing?
Well, for sure, I want to slam the thing. As low as it can go.
Flat.
Flat on the ground.
Yep.
You know, laying it out's a big job, and we have to convert it from, straight axle to independent. Probably have to change the different spindles, different rear end. I mean, it's quite a big job. It's extremely tough to build this suspension, something that Extensive hasn't done before. Whatever it is, we're up for it.
I like to have a vendor door.
Hinge it from the top so you have a little shade and, quite a big opening.
Inside, I want to keep a bar theme. Would like to have some shirts display in the background.
Some cabinets towards the back.
Correct.
Keep
Cabinets for
stock.
storage. Yeah. On the outside,
Nice.
very tight.
It sounds like it's going to be a good, nice little project. Do we get to try out the kegerator?
You definitely do.
Deal. So this is going to be a beer drinking, t-shirt selling machine.
Party on wheels. Since we do a lot of car shows, I would like something that is custom. Something that nobody else has.
So as far as colors,
Colors, I think we're going to do like a brush finish and a couple red accents here and there.
so wrap the outside.
Yeah, it's going to be wrapped.
It definitely grabs people's attention to
Yeah.
sell more product.
For sure. I want every other vendor to look at us and be like, shoot, I should have gone to build too. get some chickens in there. I had to run them off, so.
Are there chickens in there now?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to be the one getting rid of the smell.
He's getting rid of the smell.
Not happening.
But we definitely got a good game plan, so let's just load this thing up. We'll get going on it.
Sounds good. We should.
Bread truck.
Bread truck. It'll be all right.
Man, you know this thing's gonna be.
Hey, not me.
He already knew.
Man, look at Peaches. It's an unwritten rule at Extensive. The newest guy gets the most disgusting jobs. Good luck, Peaches.
On some projects like this, I like coming in and figuring everything out before everybody gets started. Getting a feel for what needs to be done and just kind of laying out a path for my guys to go down. You want everything you do to fit the vehicle, to add to the appeal. The world of custom is making it cool and people not really knowing why it's so cool. Timmy,
The hell's this?
it's a 63 Grumman old bread truck.
Grumman because it's grungy and ugly?
Well, a lot of bread loaves been delivered in this sucker.
They're about to fall apart. What's the plan?
You know, it doesn't matter what Dorian paid for this old truck. Whatever we build at Extensive, it's our full attention. I want to make it super custom so it can slam on the ground with in-shop, handmade air suspension. Then hold up these 3 tons of metal year after year. We'll add a vendor door to sell.
This front end's ugly. I mean,
it is ugly. They weren't worried about any kind of style delivering bread back in 1963. We'll torch the old bumper and grill off, and we'll add something with a little more style.
Make it lower, cooler, paint.
I think the best solution for a vehicle like this is just going ahead and wrapping it. I prefer paint, but that gets expensive on these corporate builds where they want to change up every 6 months. Inside is a bar theme with dark wood and displays for their t-shirts. I'll add a jump seat so husband and wife can ride together to the car shows, and a kegerator with taps on the outside for the customers.
Making money and drinking beer.
It don't get better than that, right?
Good deal.
Ready to torch this stuff up?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Before we build anything, the guys need to tear out the wheels, the grill, and that rusty old straight axle suspension.
If you have all this rust, it'd be a little bit easier to knock these bolts off.
You got your tetanus shot?
Hopefully we won't need it. Getting through this rust ain't gonna be easy. Can't even get a wrench on the bolt. I'm gonna go get the torch.
All right.
How much for that rusted old bolt? Shocks out.
Got it. We got this lead spring on this side loose. We're gonna hop onto the other side and get that one breaking loose. And we'll drop the whole front end off.
With most of the front suspension ripped out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and start torching off the rear leaf springs and axle. Put in this new rear end and start mocking up the rear suspension.
The body on this Grumman is aluminum, which makes this body lighter, but the entire frame is steel, so it's still really big and heavy. I want to mount the big bag, back here up underneath the frame and coming down off the axle. To properly support all this weight, we're designing extra strong 4-link mounts for the suspension. As the bag inflates, it'll raise and leads out, man. We'll get it mocked up. Cool.
So I got my template that Bill gave me. We're gonna go back to the drawing board, draw it up on the computer. Let the computer cut it out on the plasma.
ready for weld. And then put it back up on the truck. We're mocking up the 4-link mounts to measure where the bar needs to go.
We have to bend the bars to swing over this way so the bolts will clear the frame.
How far in do you think we're going to have to go?
1.5 inches. I got the angle figured out. I guess I can go ahead and start bending them.
Now Rudy's welding in the crossbar, which supports the upper bag mount.
Rodolfo.
Hey, what's up?
Man, your weld's getting better and better and better. I see it. You putting the panhard bar on?
Yeah, so I got the crossbar on here. I know we wanted to put it further back.
Second over.
The crossbar is welded in place, but now we don't have room for the panhard bar. We definitely need the panhard bar because that keeps the truck from swaying side to side.
Ain't gonna work.
It ain't. Making everything custom like the air suspension on this Grumman, sometimes you don't see a problem till it's right in front of you, and the solution can actually make a better design.
Tell you what, instead of tying it together like this, why don't you come off of the very bottom, come up to the center and back down, just bend the pipe, and then we'll cut the top part of the bend off so it'll loop boom and be very strong.
And make room for the panhard bar. Well, I'm going to remake the center support bar for the 2 upper bag mounts so we can tie it in through the frame so that all the weight transferred throughout the bag mounts into the frame and just support it even better. Now the pipe's all bent. Take it over to the vertical bandsaw, notch it, cut the end off the pipe. It ought to fit right in place. Perfect.
Let's ground that real quick and we'll tack it up.
So we got our new bar in. This bar is going to actually be a little bit better than the one we had in there previous. Now we got plenty of room.
Our motto is bagging the best, fixing the rest. And Extensive has built its reputation on custom air suspension.
Oh, dude!
We can bag pretty much anything on wheels. Big or small, fast or slow, we can raise them up or drop them low.
The Lambo?
It's the Aventador.
That thing is bad.
This 2016 Aventador is one of Lamborghini's fastest on the market, and that really says something. 691 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. This thing is basically a race car. So when I got the call, I jumped on it.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, man.
What's up?
Good morning.
Okay?
You know, Marcos owns one of Houston's largest concrete companies. He works long hours, busts his ass, but he takes his play very seriously, which I can definitely appreciate.
This is what I got, 2016 Aventador. Every single option available from the dealer, but man, I feel like I'm missing something. I want you to, I don't know, make it stand out a little bit more.
Something to set you apart from the other 2 in Houston?
Basically.
You know, Lamborghini made a couple thousand of these cars, but guys like Marcos, he's got to have one of one.
So what you think?
Well, first thing, we need to get this thing a little. Some people say you can't drop a Lamborghini any lower because they're built with such precision, but we can do it. Definitely change the wheels out. Just something that really just sets a statement when you're going down there.
I like that, dude.
Yeah.
I like that. Want to look at the inside on this thing?
Man, this thing is nice, Marcos. I don't know if I get too deep in it because you always constantly trading these things. Man, we don't want to devalue it at all.
For sure.
The key to customizing a Lambo is to make it stand out while retaining its value and performance. Because, come on, everybody had a Lamborghini poster in their room at some point.
Question is, how's it drive?
Yes, you need to find out.
We definitely need to check that out.
You ever seen him drive?
Damn! I can't wait to get this thing back to Extensive. This is going to be a fun one.
Man, matches my red hat. Employee Appreciation Day?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's
You
bad.
wish, huh?
Man, what are we even gonna do to this car?
Then we're going to set him apart. Lamborghinis are known for their top-of-the-line engineering, so I want to compliment its performance fiber front spoiler, side blades, and wing. A set of red anodized wheels, and a new set of springs to drop this thing low as it can go.
Man, what a sharp car.
And we need to get these parts going, man. Let's get it rolling.
Got it? All right.
Speaking of rolling, this guy.
How fast were you driving?
I'm going to have Tim and John start working on the Lambo. And I ain't even got to tell you, we got to be super, super careful. No mistakes.
Right.
Literally can't afford any mistakes on this thing.
We're unbolting the old yellow stock springs off these struts, and we're going to be installing some new lowering springs that will allow this Aventador to go even lower. Got you a present, buddy. Not only that, we're going to color match these lowering springs to match the car. While we're waiting on paint, John and I are removing the stock carbon fiber pieces. Before we did anything, it was already scraping the ground. And of course, Bill
This is already lower than that one. Man, that's gonna be awesome.
Tim and John are installing a lower, wider front lip on Marcos's 2016 Lamborghini.
My helper, you got it.
I got it. It's designed to decrease air pressure and reduce drag.
Extra careful, Tim.
When you're bolting on the carbon fiber pieces, you need to be really careful. Real lightweight, but the scratch is super easy. If something goes wrong, you just can't really fix it, so that's what sucks. Now we've installed carbon fiber blades, it's time to put on the wheels. The red and the black are going to offset black windows, red paint.
We gotta mount this face down, so the fun part is lining these jaws up in between these spokes so they don't make contact with them.
Let's do it.
Tight, tight, tight. Really, really close. Gonna change the whole appearance of it once they're mounted up on there.
It'd be badass.
Lowered.
Yeah, let's check it out. With the wheels in place, we're going to lower the body to just above the danger zone. Look a lot better.
Hell yeah.
The shop did a great job knocking out the lowering springs real quick, and the red gives it the extra flair we're looking for. And we get these on, we can adjust the front suspension, and we will drive this thing.
Who's taking it first, you or me?
I'll take it for the weekend. You can have it next week.
It'll be wore out by then.
These new springs have the tension and the length to drop the Lambo to the ground. But I wouldn't recommend it. About 3 inches.
You gonna measure it as I'm dropping it?
And we're about 4 inches right now, John.
Okay.
See if we can adjust it a little bit more. Get about 1 inch out of it, and that'll be perfect.
All right.
John's adjusting the springs in the front. When we adjusted the rear, we don't want it sitting like this. So we're gonna take the front down to the same amount and just be 1 inch lower all the way around.
A little more. Tighten it right there. All right, let me tighten it up real quick. What are we looking like?
I think we're good all the way around. It measures out. What we'll do is let it drive around a little bit and settle. We'll double check everything. Other than that, I think we're good.
It's been a busy few days at Extensive. We're almost done fabricating the suspension on the Grumman bread truck. So how was the day last night?
It went good until the transmission went out.
Transmission went out.
Dude, she did help push.
She might be a keeper then, huh?
Yeah.
We did good on the back suspension, Rudy. Let's get this front end and let's get this thing going down the road. We're securing the new cross mirror by welding it directly to the frame.
What up? That one got in my pants.
This will make it strong enough to support the front suspension.
Gotta make one more little cap out here. That's it.
Now that John and Rudy have locked the cross member in place, we'll mock up the rest of the system with the wheels and tires.
Jeez. I think I'm bloated.
Come on, man, let's get it mocked up. Cross members in. We got the wheel where we need it. The next step is building the lower control arm. So let's just mock it up real quick with some tubing. The control arm connects the wheel to the frame down the road. Rudy, you already know what to do, man. Take it over the table and make 2 lowers.
We're gonna use the mock up here to set up a jig. So the main thing here, I need to replicate the same angle. So whenever the arm travels, it's gonna have enough room to go up and down, and a ball joint won't bind up. This is gonna be the key part of this control arm here. Once I get this figured out, situated and tacked up, then I can go ahead and start building the actual arm.
Because the Grumman is so heavy, we need to make them extra strong at a 1-inch Schedule 80 tubing. Once the bag is bolted to the control arm, it'll pivot on the cross member, and the truck will lower down once the bag is deflated. Man, that looks good. Wheels stay straight, camber's staying perfect. I mean, all the way up, all the way down. I can't stand when you let the air out of something and just the crate looks broke. You know, that's the advantage of building the pivot points where you want them in the suspension, because you can just keep the control arms going perfect. Let it down one more time. Gonna be a badass bread truck. Because the bumper and grill stick out, the front of this bread truck never looked right to me. This old Grumman needs to have a custom grill. The old grill just wasn't cutting it. When you see a car coming at you, one of the first things you see is the grill, so it kind of sets the tone for the whole vehicle. You want something with a little style to it. I'm gonna start by drawing out a new perimeter for the new grill and have Rudy burn it out. That's the definition of custom, is you want clean, smooth, flowing lines that fits it perfect and not too gaudy or flashy. That's really gonna set this whole front of this whole truck off. It's like a mouth, huh? With some teeth in it. All right, we're ready for Rudy to transfer the dimensions of the grill to the plasma cutter. He'll burn it out of 1/2-inch aluminum. To add a little extra style, you get John to bevel the edges.
When the plasma cut this piece out, it cut it at a beveled angle. So I'm gonna use a flush trim bit to follow the very top edge, and that's gonna cut all this extra slag and stuff off, square this piece up, make it nice and smooth and neat. After I get it smoothed up and flushed, I'll build around the outside of it and actually put a shape to it. All right, 1 Grumman grill, ready for polish.
With the suspension built, John's installing the air compressors. These compressors will enable this big old truck to raise up or lay all the way on the ground.
All right, we should be good right there. This is a supply line for the rocker switches and this air gauge, which we'll be mounting right here. And the rocker switch is right here, right under the gauge. And this one will control your up and down movement. And once this is all done, we'll be able to get all 6,500 pounds lifted up.
Man, I can't wait to see this thing on the ground. This thing was a lot of work.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Will I drop it?
Man, you do the honors here.
Tear it up?
Yeah. You ready to drop it?
Sir.
You got power?
Yep.
The Grumman bread truck needed an extra large, completely custom suspension system. Now to see it flat out for the very first time. John, you ready?
Yes, sir.
We've been waiting a long time for this.
Ready?
Man, let's do it.
looks good.
I'd love to say we're almost done, but man, we're not even close. All right. John and Heath have a huge task ahead, making this bare aluminum look like a neighborhood pub. At least it doesn't smell like chickens anymore.
You know what's next? Cut a hole and turn on the air conditioner.
Yeah.
That has to go up there.
I don't know how in the hell we're gonna get that up there. All right, the awkward elephant walk.
I don't know about this, man. Look at that roof.
I know.
It's already sagging.
That's why you're gonna crawl on there, not me.
This will be fun.
All right, I'm gonna get underneath, see if we can line this sucker up.
It's like urban surfing up here.
All right, right there, we're good.
I bet it looks terrible on the roof under there.
John, you gotta come check this out, brother. We gotta figure out something.
Oh man, that's terrible. The thing's sagging bad. It's gonna leak like a sieve.
I think we can go in here and make some braces, man, that come from this beam to this beam. Straight across, pop that sucker up. That way it'll strengthen this roof back up from all the crap we cut out of there. You don't have that issue.
Yeah, and it'll hold the weight of the unit better.
Yeah.
That'll probably work.
Done deal.
Oh yeah. Science.
Science.
All right, let's get this wall put up. We move on to the roof.
We cut each board separately because we keep the grain going through the whole piece. So we have to cut each full-length piece into separate sections. We're attaching the wood with a combination of glue and nails. It's not our usual interior, but it's going to look pretty kick-ass.
I think that's about as far as we can go.
I'll let you do the honors today, Timmy. Dorian and Isabel want to sell t-shirts and apparel for their company Sunday Fun Day, so we're going to cut a vendor door in the side of the Grumman. Hell yeah.
I'm ready to see this door fits.
We're securing this pre-made door for easier access,
Like a glove.
and a quick install. Alright?
Yes, sir, how can I help you? I'm selling tacos, ice cream, t-shirts, and... Hey, it's talking to you.
Mm-hmm. Tim and John are bolting the new wing on the Lamborghini. Then it's good to go. You know, I hate seeing this one go, but Marcos wants it back. To deliver this 2016 Lamborghini back to Marcos, I asked him to meet me at the local airport.
What's on, Bill?
What's up, man?
You know, the reason I picked this spot, there's a lot of open runways, and Marcos can get down on it.
I'm ready, dude. I'm ready.
I think you're really going to be impressed with this.
Oh, man. Look at that thing, dude. Wow. That's awesome, dude. Look at that front, bro. Man. Oh, dude. You gotta be kidding me, dude. That thing even goes lower, dude. Man, Bill, you went above and beyond, brother. Oh, dude. Tim. What the hell, dude?
Look a little different.
Man, you guys, they did it awesome. Man, dude.
Low enough for you?
I was not expecting that low. That was cool, man. Look at those wheels. You went above and beyond on those wheels, dude.
You see the stance, man. We had to make that thing a little lower, man. You
For
just
sure.
had too much fender well gap.
All I can tell you, go through extensive, and it goes down.
Man, the other thing, remember in the back when you look through the wing right here,
Right.
man, we got you some different ones. And then Bill couldn't let them go black, so he
No,
painted
we
them to
had to
match
color
the
match
car to give a little bit different touch,
That looks cool as hell, dude.
just to stand you apart from everybody else.
Definitely.
That's exactly what I was looking for. Bill just did the right thing for me. I mean, it was just perfect.
Looks really cool on the outside, dude. But how this thing drives now?
Let's go see.
Was it worth the wait?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I mean, suspension, it feels great, dude.
It feels like better than what they used to be.
Hell yeah.
I was kind of worried a little bit. I mean, every time that anybody tell you, I'm going to mess with that suspension on you, Lamborghini,
You know, it's like, what?
There's a huge belief out there lowering a car, especially a sports car, hurts the performance. Man, I love proving naysayers wrong.
So what you think, man? Is this what you wanted?
This is awesome, dude.
Ready to do this, Timmy?
The front end design hasn't changed since delivering bread in 1963. New grill and bumper.
Let's take this off. We'll cut the little lip off. Roll this in the roller, the same as this.
Then we can roll the grill. Let's do it. I'm gonna roll this lower panel to fit the curve on the front of the bread truck. My dad's old 1920s roller is still coming in handy. It looked just like this in exactly this condition as long as I can remember. Now that it's curved to the front of the truck, that'll work. We'll secure it with a few rivets and get going on the bumper. The 63 Grumman now has a completely handmade custom suspension. To make a stronger first impression, we grabbed an old Chevy bumper that I think will work. Now we just need to make it fit.
The body will be pretty much like this when we're done. But right now, as you can see, we're hitting here. So we need to remove this excess frame rail. Now this looks more like a modern bumper.
Okay, turn it. All right, hold it there real quick. Yeah, I think we got it, Timmy. We got the bumper where it needs to be, right width. Got it split down the middle. Now we just need to come in, fill this 5-inch little gap. That'll bring everything together. When we're done, this new bumper is gonna look like it should have been designed this way. I like it, man. It's way, way nicer, all sucked in, pushed back. And it fits really, really good to the truck. Looks like it came that way from the factory. The only seat in the delivery truck was the driver's seat. Because this is for a husband and wife team, we're gonna add another. So we're making support beams to tie a jump seat into.
Dip in the toilet, cool it off.
We're using square tubing and plates so we can bolt it in the truck.
What you got, Timmy?
The welder. This will go right there. I'll cut 2 pieces from the center.
Let's do it. Got me a job now. Very important part of the build.
Tim is building the center to bolt this seat in place. Come on, man, let's get this sucker in.
Up a little bit, right there.
A few welds here and there, and it's good to go. Now you can sit on it.
It's good, man. So I think it'll hold the weight of a grown-ass man?
I guess we got the one to try it out. What do you think, Tim?
Come on, man, let's get on there. See what she does. Good luck. Ain't going nowhere. Hold my hand.
It was only rated for 180 pounds.
Well, you made it better because it held 300.
Because this is a corporate build, we really want the customers to see this thing from a mile away. We've created a great design and it's a huge challenge wrapping this entire bread truck, but John and Jose are definitely up for it.
With these old builds, there's a lot of issues that come up. This one, it's not completely flat. There's a lot of different curves, different shapes, small body work here and there, some hinges and bolts that we have to work around. It's nothing that we can't handle. Once the vinyl's all installed and it's all matched up, we use a little heat and our squeegees and work down every seams and body panels and QC it, and then we're done. Yeah, this is gonna look sick.
Dorian and Isabel want to serve beer out of this truck, so I asked Heath and John to install taps for the kegerator.
Just cut a hole, put an extra tap out here, where we can party on the outside while they party on the inside. Yeah, that'll work.
Let's get the keg in here and get to drinking some beer.
We got these in. Now we'll just get inside. We're gonna plumb up our taps. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Tied into the kegerator so that we get beer all the way to the back. All we got is one vital component left. The keg. To the liquor store.
Let's get it.
There's one more part I need fabricated for the grill. Hold up. Man, I need you on this. Like, immediately. Jesse's my man to get it done. It's going to be pretty difficult welding this thing, man, because you got the real thick aluminum to the real thin aluminum. So just concentrating the heat on this without just totally distorting this whole thing is going to be difficult.
This one messes up. Do we have another piece?
No, but hurry up.
If I mess this one up, it's going to set us back about a day or two or more. When I start to TIG, I gotta feed the rod into it at the same time as I'm pushing in with the torch. That way they can fuse together before the mist starts melting and messing up the grill.
One and done. Jesse did a great job as usual. Now to paint this thing black to tie in with the wrap.
Make it look good, man.
Okay. Before painting the grill, Harold's body working out every nick and scratch.
Just got out of the shop, headed to pick up a neon sign for the bread truck we're building. Luckily, I get to get out and see Houston. I have to constantly be on top of these parts. When the guys are building vehicles, they need parts.
Is everything?
Man, it's everything. And if they don't have the parts when they're ready to put it on, then it costs time. And time is money. So basically, my job before they need it. My entire life, I've been in and around shops, specifically working on trucks. So it's really cool working at Extensive. Being affiliated with a shop that's known all over the world, man, it just doesn't get any better than that.
How you doing, Spot? Got me ready to roll? Think so.
Oh man, that looks super cool. Dude, it's exactly what we wanted. Very cool.
Before we give this bread truck back to Dorian and Isabel, as a t-shirt selling machine, there's a couple more things we need to check off our list.
We got the truck all wrapped up. Now we just have one more thing to do, is just add the wrap to the wheels. Pretty much the whole theme of the vehicle is red and black. There's not much left on it that's polished, so just to help tie in with the whole theme itself, we're adding the same graphic design to the wheels itself.
Man, that looks good, huh? I know it's a lot of work, Timmy, but man, when it's coming down the road at you.
Right.
Let's get the grill on this thing and top it off. Man, Timmy, this thing looking good.
That looks real good. Kind of completes the whole truck.
the truck looks like. I have a vision for it, and I knew if anyone could make this happen, it would be Bill.
I asked Dorian and Isabel to meet me at the 8th Wonder Brewery in downtown Houston. Every weekend they host an event here. Vendors are selling food, drinks, you name it. Very soon there'll be a one-off custom truck selling Sunday Fun Day t-shirts. Hey, thank you guys for bringing all the merchandise today. Soon it'll have a nice home in the new van.
Good, I'm tired of hauling that in the back of our truck.
Yeah, y'all ready to check it out?
Yeah!
Yeah. Jeez.
He's mad.
I'm shaking.
When that thing hit the floor, man, they loved it.
Oh my God, this thing looks amazing. He went way beyond my expectations.
What's up? You ready to sell some shirts?
Good.
You know, Rudy, as well as everybody at the shop, they always come through. I mean, this is just a prime example of just teamwork and my guys making it happen.
Yes.
Great. And we started off by doing the air suspension on it. We converted the front straight axle to independent, handmade every part and piece of it. When this big old truck pulls up, slams to the ground, you can't help but take notice.
So excited to take it to shows.
Custom-made wheels for this truck. And to give it the wow factor, we made a whole new bumper and grille. So the front of this truck is sleek and streamlined.
Looks amazing.
Cut the whole side out and vendor door on the side so you can sell all your product. You know, Pixelworks did a great job wrapping it.
2 cutters, embossed, printed everywhere. That blew my mind.
Of course, we have your
beer
tabs for you. Everything on it is going to help you promote your business and draw people to it.
Yeah, this is everything we've ever wanted. This is everything that we need. I just can't wait to get in there and start selling our merchandise. This is amazing!
You open the door, those guys were just blown away. I mean, they had no idea. You know, you wanted the bar feel.
Yeah. Yes!
So, this is awesome.
This is crazy!
Don't smell any more chickens in there.
This is amazing!
The whole interior with the wood inside, how they redid everything just real nice and subtle. It looks awesome.
I knew you guys were the ones to come to help us out with this build.
I think she likes it.
I think it's awesome, man.
You guys ready to check out the taps? Yeah! Well, cool. Let's get the product loaded up. We're ready to sell some. Here you go, buddy.
Once we open up our doors, the people just flooded the truck. You have like extra small or small? Yes, ma'am.
Today is a great day. I mean, it's making them some money. I mean, that's what we built it for. That's what they need. It's out of whack. It's totally smashed in.
This port support piece, we got a big gap.
Go see what this thing can do.
What's up, man? I need to be able to get this bike in the back of this truck.
There ain't no way you can do that safely. But we can make it happen by building you a custom air suspension trailer.
This is actually my first one to build, so no pressure.
That is awesome, bro.
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal. For the most part, we do client builds here at Extensive. But I've been looking for a nice project to build a Baja truck out of, maybe even make a few. You got to start by buying it really, really low. My buddy Dave said he's got a truck for me that I have to come see. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, Bill? Good to see you.
Dave deals in vehicles that he buys at auctions. Most are ready to drive off the lot. Some are just a little bit more than parts. When buying a vehicle like this, you have to do your due diligence. This it?
Yeah, that's it. It's hurt.
Does look a little hurt.
Yeah, it got hit hard.
Hard.
He wasn't playing.
What happened with this truck?
They don't tell me what happened at the auction, but it just got wrecked. It's got low miles, though. Real low miles.
What's real low miles?
633.
Oh, man.
Good rear end, good motor, transmission.
Man, it looks good for parts.
Man, it's still got the new car smell.
Oh, yeah, she's new.
Just don't got new car look.
Man, this interior is so new, we don't even have to do anything to it.
You know, I was going to go ahead and salvage it, use the motor and transmission in one of my trucks.
Oh, no, man. We can put this thing back together.
You think so?
This 2017 F-150 rolled off the factory floor with a 5.0-liter Coyote V8 engine. It's the perfect starting platform for what I want to build. Man, you can see the bed still straight with the cab. There's nothing wrong with the back of the frame. It's just the front. Man, I'm seeing making this thing into a Baja truck.
A Baja truck?
We can jump it.
Jump it?
Yeah, man.
Man, this thing is missing a lot, Bill.
Well, that's where you come in, buddy.
Bill's not the kind of guy to scare easy. And seriously, I don't think there's anything he can't build. But this one needs a ton of parts and fixes. And on our dollar, that's what really scares me. Man, I didn't know we were picking it up to build. I thought this was parts.
Yeah, that's what I admire a lot about Bill. He always sees things that other people don't. It is brand new, Bill, but it's in pretty bad shape.
That means it's cheap for me, right?
Yeah, we can run a special. We always do.
Man, we're going to get it running. And you can come check it out, man. You can be there when it happens.
I'd like to be there. Let me know.
I trust you, but do you really want to take this pile home?
Come on, man, of course. Yep. Most of the time, you should just strip a truck like this for parts, but I've been doing this a long time. You see the right truck? It's endless possibilities. We're going to turn a pile of bent-up crap into something that's going to be really cool, man. I've been wanting to build a Baja pre-runner style truck for a while. Street legal truck, you can race and jump. This truck is a perfect thing. We gotta launch it.
By launch?
So,
how high are you talking?
Man, at least this high. Yup. You know, Baja truck is just made to take any terrain it can possibly go through. Sand, mud, gravel. That's what a truck like this is built for. Just the aggressive stance. You look at it, it just looks pissed off. It's in bad shape. I mean, you see, that's immediately what you see. To me, half of it's here. That's a head start. What better way to get a truck like this, very little money, and turn it into something really cool and able to jump up into the air.
Well, Timmy, here she is.
What are we doing with this? Taking motor out, trans out, wheels, tires off. Couple doors look good.
Come on, man. We're gonna build a Baja truck.
Out of this.
Out of this. The truck is brand new. And on this, we're gonna have a little bit higher ground clearance in the front than the rear to go off-road, to jump things, and still be able to drive it on the street every day. Big wide fenders to go along with those suspensions, so the control arms and everything have to be really long to be able to jump. Wide bed sides in the back just for that aggressive look. Bed cage in the back, big, huge shocks. We're gonna give this thing a second life and even better than it ever rolled off the assembly line. Spares in the back, we want the whole Baja look. I'm gonna drive it around. Who knows, somebody might need it in their life.
So you're gonna drive like Bill, and we're gonna drive it to the max. Anything we fix after that is roadworthy 100%, because you drive,
hell yeah,
200% worse than anybody I know. Or nothing breaks, we'll just keep it as a shop truck.
Take it to lunch every day.
Lunch, Bill's credit card for gas.
No?
I'll sell it then.
He thinks he's gonna sell it when he finishes it? I'll believe it when I see it.
You know, looking at this this truck, you can tell it got hit really hard in the front passenger side, and it's obvious we're gonna replace body panels. But man, we need to tear this thing down and see what kind of frame damage there is. The back's good. I don't have any concern at all with this. Let's get the front of this thing all tore apart.
Front end looks a little bit jacked up. You wouldn't even call it a front end.
It's like somebody had already started repairing it. I seen it all wrapped up. Now I see it got hit way harder than I thought it did. Man, the whole throttle body's missing.
Probably gonna need a new one anyways. Get some power.
Well, let's get it tore apart, man. Let's see what else. Let's see what else we need. Dang. You see the little charcoal canister is totally busted. The deep gouge in the cross member, gouge in the transmission pan. The front of the frame is totally out of whack. You can tell somebody's already tried to repair it. I'm nervous about how the uncompleted repair job is done. Hopefully from the point they repaired back is all good. But we won't know anything until we run the string line and go from there. We're going old school to measure the straightness of the frame. The plumb bob's just a tool of just knowing if you have a straight line or not. Sometimes you don't have a point you can just run a tape measure right off of. So if you drop a plumb bob, which is just a weighted string, that gives you a perfectly level string to measure off of. So you can measure from each side of the frame to the plumb bob to know if you're perfectly center on that. If it lines up with your horizontal string, you know you're
off by 8.
At the same time, we'll level this thing. So the level will tell us if it's out of whack this way, and the string line will tell us if everything's completely straight that way.
It go up a little bit on the passenger side. Pretty good. Check out that front truck. Aha, it's out of whack.
Make it level. Let me see how far off it is. The front end is definitely tweaked a little bit. It's a little off center. We want this thing to drive perfectly straight down the road. We want everything 100% in line, no alignment issues. We don't want it pulling off to one side or another. We're going to be abusing this thing. Well, I am. We're going to put it to the test, so I want to make sure everything's going to hold up to what we're going to throw at it. First thing we need to do on the F-150 is repair the frame. It's not just the damage from the accident, but the bad repair job. Elu's going to cut that out. We're going to start all over. Down. All right, perfect. Elu's got all this cut loose. It lines up perfect with our string line. Plumb bob is 100%. It's perfectly level. The last step is just weld this thing up. Man, Lulu, that looks real good, man. Can't even tell anything ever even happened to it. It's just not the frame needs to be fixed, but the whole passenger side core support was damaged in the accident. So Rudy's going to pull off the bad piece and install a new one.
This F-150 has been in a real bad accident. So what we found was this core support piece, it should be nice and straight here and then curve out. But as you can tell, if we put a straight edge here on the straight part, we got a big gap here. So a little gap here is going to create an even bigger gap here on the end. So we're going to go ahead and pull this piece out, bring in a new piece. It's nice and straight. And that way, when our fenders go on, they should bolt up nice and perfect. So the core support is the structural frame of the front end. Our headlights, radiator, grill, bumper, all that bolts up. It needs to be nice and straight for everything to fit perfect. We got our new core support fender piece in. As you can see, this one's nice and straight, so we'll go ahead and bolt it all up. After that, we'll be good to go.
As much as anything else, I think think we're in the problem-solving business. And today, Chad and Melinda, they got a good one for us. They own a local bar and restaurant, and they build their own custom bikes, and they paint everything orange. I mean, everything. What's up, man?
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Good, man.
Known Bill for about 15 years. One of the first trucks that I ever worked on. Bill did the air ride suspension on it for me.
What you got here? This new one you built?
Yeah, we got it done not too long ago. It's a 08 Road King that we built. Put the 30-inch front wheel on it. Fully bagged it out. Of course, our orange color on it.
Man, it looks good.
Thank you. But we're having a little issue. I need to be able to get this bike in the back of this truck. So I need to come up with some type of ramp system, some kind of mechanism that'll fold out, something.
Man, come on. You can't be... There ain't no way you could do that safely.
Gotta figure out a way to get it hauled.
Some air suspension trailer that it can drop completely flat on the ground. You can ride this bike right up on it, strap it down. Easy. And safe.
A custom trailer. That sounds expensive.
What's expensive is dropping this off of a ramp coming out of the back of the truck or hurting yourself.
Bill's vision is just different than anybody else's. When it comes to metalwork, he's a true artist. My thing is, of course, is go with the orange theme. Everything's got to match.
Hell yeah. We can powder coat it orange, no problem. Put some black wheels on it. Make everything flow and match and look totally custom.
You good with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool, man. Let's go right up. Let's get you going, man. You can't be having no ramp. Come on.
All right, let's do it.
In 2000, I had an idea for an air suspension motorcycle trailer that is set completely flat on the ground. Had a bike, didn't have a truck at the time, so problem solved. Air suspension trailer. A lot of people just see a steel rack, but when you have a steel rack, it's endless possibilities of what you can build. Anybody that's ever put a motorcycle in the back of a truck, they know how sketchy it is and how dangerous and how much it's going to cost. And this just solves all the problems. Just makes it super easy. Ride the bike right up on it, strap it down, air it up, and you're on your way. Jamie's one of our best fabricators and a biker himself, so he's going to help me build this trailer.
Thanks, man.
Each and every one of these trailers start out on the same template, but we customize each one depending on the style and size of the bike. And this one, it's got to be orange.
So there's a lot of tube on this trailer. It's probably about maybe close to 60 foot. It needs to be pretty strong to hold up his bike. It's a pretty heavy bike. So everything needs to be cut exactly. There's a lot of angles on this trailer. If I get one of them wrong, it could look crooked. It could not be the same on each side. I need to ditto each side and make everything perfect to the jig. So it's real important all my cuts fit nicely. This is actually my first one to build, so no pressure.
Me and Jamie worked late into the night to make this custom trailer for Chad and Melinda. The frame is mostly welded up. Now it's time for the airbags. Jamie cut one of two suspension links, so we're going to put this bar through it, and then it's going to pivot on the bolt. This is actually going to be the suspension to the trailer. So you see there's no traditional trailer axle going all the way through it. The spindle of the wheel is going to be right here mounted. We're going to trim it all down so the fender will weld right to it, but that's it. When this thing's all done, it's going to be years and years of trouble-free towing. There you go, ma'am. Hell yeah. Tack it. All right, cool. Hell yeah. This is the same basic system we use on our cars and our trucks. And you can see when you put air in this, as soon as you hit a switch, the valve opens, air goes right into the bag, lifts the arm up, trailer raises. So that's basically the whole suspension in this thing. Now to fit the big wheels.
is we start wrapping it up. You know, we don't have a fixture for this, so every one of these are custom to the wheel, the tire, everything varies on this. So we build everything one off. You see the links we go to make sure everything looks 100% straight. Jump up, measure that real quick. Nobody's going to notice if it's 100% perfect, but they're damn sure going to notice if it's crooked.
Man, that's perfect.
That's what I'm talking about. Now that the frame is straight, we're going to install a long travel suspension on this F-150, which is specially designed for the pre-runners.
Knowing Bill, I know he's going to drive this out of this thing. So these control arms need to be long, strong, and sturdy, which they are. It's going to be perfect for giving us that suspension travel to make sure we don't roll this thing over. It's the last thing this truck wants to do. We're installing the coilovers and shock. A coilover is a shock and spring compacted into one unit. This allows adjustment for no purpose. Of course, Bill's gonna go with the biggest shock he can. He needs the biggest shock to have the softest landing. Push it down at the same time. The shocks keep the truck from bouncing, so it sticks to the road better, no matter how bumpy the road gets. We got our whole setup here installed. Our spindle, our lower control arm, upper control arm, our coilovers, and our shocks. Our wheel is going to stick out pretty far out from the body due to our longer control arms. Give us a little bit more travel on our suspension. As much travel as we can get, the better for us.
Now, Elu and Rudy are installing the brakes. This thing is going to take a beating. It's very important to have super strong stainless steel brake lines.
We don't want the line getting kinked up or ripped up, because if the brake line breaks loose, gets cut, this thing ain't stopping. We really need this brake line to work.
Elu is installing the limiting strap. The limiting strap keeps the suspension all nice and tight, so when you leave the ground, it just won't overextend and get all in a bind.
Now that I have all the limited strap mounted and the brake line mounted, well, the next step is to mount these reservoirs that are just hanging out right now, but we're gonna fasten them down for whenever he's up in the air, they won't be all over the place.
That's in. That's perfect.
The frame on this F-150 is good as new. To turn this thing into a pre-runner, we're gonna add some reinforcements. I mean, 4,000-pound truck landing nose first, you know, it's gonna take a beating. So we wanna build a brace goes from tower to tower. So when we jump this thing, the towers just don't fold in because they're so tall. And that's a ton of leverage coming down.
Sounds good.
We'll roll a piece and hit your half schedule 80 something real heavy, and then we'll bend it so it gives it a nice little contour, little style to it. All right, man. Let's get my little notepad out here. Got 9 and 7 kids. I'll roll it and we'll just lay it out on the table. I just want a little bit of.
More, you try that thing.
No, that's good. You know, just don't want it straight. Want a little style to it. But going off the little quick, simple sketch and the measurements I took off the truck and just transferring it over onto a piece of paper so it's actual size. Set my angle on the old computer here. As long as I transferred my measurements to my paper correct, it should fit perfect. First time. Should. This machine uses a hydraulic piston to force a precise bend into our pipes. I say that's it. Now we just gotta cut it. We got our marks. Next step, chop it up, put it on. Think it's gonna fit, Lulu?
We find out in a minute. We set it down.
Man, that'll work. You know, with this being bent so much, it makes it weak here. When you bend a pipe, it weakens it a little, so I'm gonna double it up and make this thing super strong. Let's bend one more. We'll kind of lean them apart and we'll have extra strength, man, for jumping.
Oh yeah, it'll be a lot stronger.
thing's gonna be super strong, Lulu. That's never gonna fold up on us. Right in the middle of this, man, to hold all this together, it'll be pretty tight.
The engine brace for the F-150 is almost ready. Rudy's burning out a plate so we can tie this thing all together. It's going to be super strong.
It's all ready to go. Go ahead and hand it off to Bill. You can go ahead and weld it on the Baja truck.
How's that look? Man, that looks good, Rudy. Tack this thing in. We're just gonna pull this thing off, take it over the table, weld it up. This is one of the things that nobody's ever gonna see, but I know it's there. Every part and piece of this is done right. And that's how we did it. All welded up, ready to go to the powder coater.
Because we're turning this truck into a Baja style pre-runner, it has longer front suspension. It's going to make the wheels stick out farther than the factory fender wells. So I'm having Charlie and Fernando modify the fenders and the bedsides to make this thing all fit.
Being that Bill wants to jump this thing, we need to make sure we've got a ton of clearance in here, so that way that when he does jump, there is clearance and the tires don't hit the inner wheel wells and he doesn't have a problem with that. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to drill out all the rivets that they have in here holding this out, and then we'll remove this outer shell, and then once we remove that, we'll trim it all off, and we'll use a piece of this to actually keep it extended out, and then we'll build our own wheel well and make it all uniform. This piece is already all mocked in of where we think we want it at, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the fiberglass bedside in and double check everything, check our measurements, make sure they're all good to go so we can continue on with the rest of the form of the fender weld. Looking in here, you can see how we made everything mount to the factory edge, so when you look at it all in one piece, everything flows in like if it was made that way. You know, once we get it all mounted and attached to there, you ain't gonna know that we ever even did this. Let's get it going. All right, thanks guys, appreciate it.
Charlie's laying out the fiberglass mat to mend this thing all together. It's going to be super strong and super light. Fernando is filling in all the little cracks and crevices with body filler, so it's going to be... And we just got this thing back from powder coat. Everything looks good as it always does. Chad is going to be ecstatic. It matches with everything in his collection. So just going to put everything in this tongue box. All the essentials to make this thing work is all right here. Cool. What we got so far, obviously the battery, air compressor, and 3 sets of valves. So we have a valve for the tongue, a valve for the left, a valve for the right. No matter what the load is, if it's offset load, you can add a little more pressure to the left. Or if you got a little more weight on the right, you add a little more pressure to the right. Ready for that tank. Yeah. Cool, we got everything mounted in place. The only thing left to do is just wiring and run some lines. That's it. Every Sunday. They're going to be showing up here any minute to his new bar, so I figure what better place to give him his trailer.
That's freaking awesome. Man, damn, bro, that's freaking sick. I didn't even imagine this, bro. That's over the top.
So good.
That is insane.
So you gotta have the orange and black, I know.
Man, you know, I wouldn't accept it if it wasn't. So it's perfect.
It's full air suspension. Okay. Of course, it has 3 bags. It has a bag on each wheel and a bag on the tongue. So you can leave this thing hooked up to any vehicle and drop this thing completely flat. So it's super stable. You ride your bike right up on it, strap it down, air it up, you're good to go.
It doesn't get much better than that, bro.
Yeah, man.
When we talked about doing something like this, that's why we went to Bill. You know, I knew he'd come up with something that would work perfect for us, and just the fact that he can, you know, build something out of nothing is amazing.
Check it out. Let me show you how to work this thing.
Yeah, let's check this thing out.
Everything's inside here. All the switches. You see the tank, compressor, valving. Everything is all in here. Hit the 2 switches. Air the back up.
That's freaking awesome. That is awesome, bro. Man, that's insane. Oh, when Bill hit the switches, I mean, that was really cool.
Yeah.
For it to be 3 different bags, 3 different switches, you know, all fully adjustable, to be able to work behind any vehicle that we pull it behind is going to be really cool. Definitely feel safe putting my bike on it. And the last thing to see is how it fits on the trailer.
Yeah, hopefully it fits.
There you go.
Wow.
Man, that's insane.
Man, when Chad rode that bike up on the trailer, it's obvious it's 100% package complete now.
Perfect match.
Bro, that's insane.
That looks really good.
Man, this is way better than ramps, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
And cooler.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Definitely cooler. It definitely flows. Put this thing up, man. See how it takes it up. 8 voyage.
Oh, wow.
That is so
glad you got that.
Ready to go.
Yeah, this looks really good. The bike, the trailer, the truck. You did a fantastic job.
It's awesome, bro.
I am so happy that we had Bill build this for us. It just looks amazing, and I'm super excited to get it out on the road.
Now that the front suspension's all installed on the Baja, it's time to get that rear end in.
And I'm just hanging off the back. Make sure the truck don't go forward.
Good?
Oh, we got to remove the factory leaf springs, but everything's in the way. The gas tank is coming off, and we're moving the exhaust just to get to that one bolt to get the springs out.
You're good. This is our factory leaf spring, and this is our new spring we got right now. You can see the difference. One's way thicker than the other one. Our new leaf springs packed with a whole lot more leaves for better absorption, whereas our factory one only has about 3. So this was pretty much made for potholes, and this was made for big ass jumps. And now we got the leaf springs on. We're gonna go ahead and throw the rear end on there and bolt it up. Whoop. Alright, hold it. Get that side fastened down. We got the U-bolt plates. Hang on for a second, Rudy. When you're down on your luck, just hang in there.
Mission. All we need to do now is install the shocks, new wheels and tires, and it's ready for a test run. The rear leaf springs on the Baja F-150. I love how this thing's turning out with the big shocks, 16 inches of travel, you know, attached to the new long travel leaf springs. I can't wait to get the big wide fenders on it and go test this thing out. Matter of fact, we'll put the wheels on it, go see what this thing can do. The stock tires just aren't going to cut it, so we're replacing it with 37-inch high-performance off-road tires. I really want to see how the suspension does, how it reacts when it hits bumps and dips, and there's all kind of little fine-tuning tricks that you can do to this type of suspension. But, you know, don't know till you really put your foot to the floor and see what kind of reaction you get out of the truck itself, putting bigger tires on it. You know, it's always a concern for not enough power. I call this the spot test. Spot size. That was fun. Man, mean, there's definitely some tuning on the shocks, but we got to get this thing up in the air, at least over spot. I mean, it shouldn't be very hard to do. We need a lot more power and a lot bigger jump. When I get back, I'm calling Justin and put me one bad turbo system on here, man. What's up, man?
So it's Carlton.
So I want to launch this thing, and it just don't have the power to do what we need to do.
Well, good thing you got this Coyote motor, man. These 5.0s are good platforms. We can do a single turbo, something that'll come in, hit hard, hit like nitrous, man. It'll be good for this pre-runner build. You can see about 20 horsepower per pound of boost.
It'll be enough for Bill.
No Bill, man, no telling.
What's the plan?
What we can do is we can use the factory flanges, and we can build from those flanges forward to our turbo.
All right, I guess we'll start taking that exhaust down.
Because we're going to tie into the factory manifolds, it's easier just to go ahead and use the factory OEM flanges and build from this point forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut these off, and we're going to try to save it where we can use these O2 bones so we can use the factory flanges. Matt, this one should be ready, man.
It'll be a good start.
We'll start working on the hot side, which is everything on the turbine side of their turbocharger. Buddy Matt, he's going to start on the cold side, which is like the intake and the discharge off the compressor housing. The hot side of this turbo kit is what feeds the turbine wheel. That's where, I guess, the magic happens. The air comes in, and it pressures it up and pushes it out into the intake manifold.
A turbocharger is basically an air pump. It forces more air into the engine. You get more air.
This thing should spool really, really fast with the dual inlets feeding off of each bank of this 5-liter Coyote motor. So now we got the turbocharger bolted in. We're going to go ahead and start connecting to our intercooler.
Matt's trying to install the intercooler on the F-150, but it just won't fit.
The end tanks were kind of hitting on the inside of the frame rails. So we went ahead and we cut them to get it to fit. Now we got to modify and fabricate new pieces so we can go ahead and put our inlets on our intercooler. After we cut it, the coupler that slides on there, it'll want to blow off. So we put a little bead around it to keep it from coming off. I'm going to cut it on the saw and then make our bend. So now that we have our end cap tacked into place, we got 2 more plates that we need to make, and then we can go ahead and weld this side out. Now that we have our end tanks modified on our intercooler where it fits in between the frame rails, we're going to go ahead and get it installed now.
Looks like it was made to be there.
We're going to give it a once over. We still got to run our oil supply line, our drain line. We got a couple fittings that we need to install. This is our downpipe on the exhaust fender zone. We'll know exactly where we need to go with it.
Charlie and Tim are finishing up the body modifications on the front of this Baja.
We'll set the fenders up here and rough them in, see what we got.
Yeah. With way wider fenders and a fiberglass hood.
Right now, I'm making sure that the fiberglass fender doesn't hit none of the original mounts or on the cab or anything like that. So if it does, we're going to mark it now, trim it out, and then test fit it again and see how we look. Boy, look at that. That's 100% better right there.
Let's grab the hood.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
This thing is going to be a beast.
Yeah, it's going to look real cool. My dad always told me that when I was little, I loved getting those little die-cast model cars we had to put together. He would buy me one, and then he would see me put it together, and then he'd see me taking it apart, and then put it together again. It was always a fascination in tearing apart vehicles and building something better than what we already had. Our biggest tool and one of my favorite tools is our plasma cutter. Before, there was plenty of parts that we would have to do hands-on, whereas now, computer does it all in what I would do before. Bill hates computers, and
And to me, computers is one of the biggest things I like to use. When we first got the machine, nobody really knew how to run it or who was going to run it. And I asked him, I was like, hey, so who's going to do it? And he just kind of like looked at me and was like, well, who else? Working with Bill, he does have high expectations for everybody, which is a good thing. He doesn't want anybody else to fail, because the way I see it is if we fail, then he fails. So, of course, he's going to want us to exceed in everything that we do, but of course, he always wants it done in 2 minutes. So.
We finished the frame and the bodywork on the Baja build, but one day I'm gonna sell it. So I'm gonna pick a paint color that's just gonna turn heads. Charlie Murphy.
So, man, what you got now?
Man, I need to pick a color for the old Baja.
Man, what color you thinking about?
Let me get this paint chip off and see what's up. Probably one of them two.
One of them two? That one right there?
That's it, man. I chose a burnt orange metallic that'll make this Baja look like none other.
So this is what we got here. This is the color that Bill wanted. It has a lot of pearl in it and a lot of metallic in it. And as you can see, it looks real good under the light. The first thing I painted when I was a kid, I painted a bicycle. You know, I started out rattle cannon, and you know, and it started from there, and everything just kind of escalated. And then I ended up painting a 71 GMC, which was, you know, my truck. Me and my uncle did it together, and that was an experience. And then from that point on, it was over for me. There was no going back. So this here is an unusual color for the Baja truck because half a gallon is pearl. Usually you got like 15, 20 grams. This one here's got 700 grams of pearl. And then it's got 600 grams of a different pearl, so that's half a gallon right there, you know what I mean? So this is gonna be beautiful out in the sun when he jumps over Spot's head.
When I see something in my head, I know I can do it. I know I can do it. This F-150 was a little rough when I first got it. We transformed it into a totally different truck. Dave is in for a huge surprise. He has no idea. I'm heading out with my guys to test out this Baja truck. As promised, I invited Dave to come check it out.
Y'all got that truck done, huh?
You're gonna be blown away when you see this truck.
Really?
It's not the same truck that we got from you.
Damn, that is completely different.
Now I can say I told you so.
You sure that's the same truck? Damn, I cannot believe it.
Yeah, man. So you can do it.
Bill can do it.
In typical Bill fashion, you know.
Gotta tear it up.
Told you.
You sure that's the same truck?
Promise you.
Come on. Bill, you sure that's the same truck?
Man, I can see why Dave is shocked. This thing doesn't look anything like it used to.
Oh, you did a lot of work to that thing.
Man, a lot. Started off fixing the frame. We put the frame back together, so it's nice and straight now. The integrity's back in there.
I never would have thought you'd have been able to fix it.
We went ahead and took off all the old suspension, what was left of it, threw on their new long travel suspension, put some big old shocks and coilovers in the front.
Man, it looks good.
Of course, you see the color change on the whole truck.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the grill, the bumpers, and the super wide fiberglass fenders and bedsides, man. That thing just looks so angry and pissed off when it's coming at you.
It does.
Little bed cage in the back, holding the spares.
Sounds like I heard a turbo on that thing.
Yeah, man. You know, we had a little test drive and it just wasn't getting it, so it needed a little more power.
You gotta have more power. That's always.
Custom made a whole turbo setup for this truck. Big stainless exhaust piping through it, intercooler tubes, all that stuff. Did it right.
We about to see how much power it's got.
Yeah.
Man, I said I wanted this thing to jump over Spot. Last time we couldn't even get it over Santa. Man, and now it's time to give it another try with that new turbo.
There we go. There we go. Come on, go,
Whether it's dropping a vehicle down low, raising one up high, or jumping one through the air, you got to have a good team. And I got some of the best around. I can't thank my guys enough.
Bad. There it is.
You got this. You got it.
Hell yeah.
Man, that's gonna work. I told you. I know. Yeah. Hey, Bill, I gotta tell you, I never thought you'd have pulled it off. Man, that truck was hit hard, and you made it come out good. I really like that thing back. You think we can do something around 75?
Oh, man, come on. That thing's still too new, man. I need a little bit. Let the new wear off. I'll give you first choice, man, when it comes time.
I'm interested. Let me know.
All right. I wasn't planning on selling this truck today, but, you know, after I'm...
See, families doing that no more.
Then you don't. Get rid of everything that's underneath and just start over. And then the fun part, the steering.
Hating myself already for coming up with another one of these ideas.
1966 Cobra replica.
Mr. Rollbar.
For looks and for safety. So it's going to be a little more complicated than I thought. We got to create the structure underneath to hold all this together. This will make it or break it. Yeah! I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal. None is important to me, but some builds, they just take me back. Hey, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing? Scott. Bill?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This thing's cool. It's definitely unique.
1965 Ford Falcon.
My dad used to have one similar to that, man. I learned how to drive down this road, and I was sitting up in his lap, and I remember steering this thing and not going anywhere.
Yeah, right. That's about what it is now.
The Falcon was Ford's answer to the VW bus in the 1960s. Unlike the VW, the engine isn't in the back. It's right in between the driver and the passenger seat.
I brought it here to let you work your magic. Ooh. I got two little ones and try to take like 3 weeks vacation on the road a year driving around, get out and see the country.
That's really cool. So you need something comfortable, reliable, and safe.
And cool.
And cool.
Getting my daughter and son excited about custom cars and maybe have them riding around in something custom someday. It's a cool thought.
Let's check this thing out.
All right.
Man, this thing's really nice in here. But just not for put your family in and go across the country on.
My wife will not drive cross country in this car with me.
What kind of engine's in this
thing? Wait till you see this.
That's definitely not going to cut it. We might as well give it some power for Dad on the weekends.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. An engine change out is an absolute necessity. It has to be something that, you know, I can actually keep up with traffic these days.
You know, the dash, we'll start over, put new gauges in it. AC.
It'd be nice to have a little AC.
As far as the running gear, we just need to get rid of everything that's underneath this thing and just start over. New engine, trans, independent front suspension, rack and pinion. Make this thing drive right, because I know it's all over the road right now. Let's check out the rest of this thing. Got plenty of room in it.
A lot of studio space in there.
Yeah. You're wanting something nice, comfortable for the family, for the kids in the back. You want like TVs, iPads, anything like that?
No TVs. Stereo, music would be cool. We got to think about it being unplugged back here. Use the windows as the screens.
You know, I get where Scott's coming from. Totally unplugging, getting out, seeing the road, and letting the family enjoy what's out there. I wish my kids could do that. Let's go make it happen.
Great.
Worse than rolling up to the rest stop and seeing the exact same vehicle with a different family in it. But Scott's got it figured out. A van for the family and a cool custom van for old Dad. Why get something that everybody else has? Customizing a car, a truck, there's a little restrictions, but when you're customizing a van, there's a lot of room for improvement. There's endless possibilities for something truly custom. Come on in, buddy.
What is this?
Thing's cool, huh?
This thing's real cool.
Scott is going to use this thing to take his family all around the country.
Man, you really don't see families doing that no more, just getting together and hanging out and driving.
Then you don't. So we're going to make something really cool, comfortable, and dependable. Something they can take from state to state to state. This thing's got some miles on it. No motor. It's definitely seen better days. We got to change the power plant. I'm thinking it's a Ford truck, so we got to stick with the Ford engine. Let's go with the EcoBoost and plenty of power. Super sporty. He'll love to drive this. Hey, check this out, man. See, look at this.
Yeah, it needs some suspension work, huh?
It needs a little bit of suspension work. We're going to go through this whole thing front to back bumper. Nice rack and pinion on this thing, and something that's really stable and tight and fun to drive. Going from that, reconfigure the dash. He wants AC in it, of course. With all this glass in it, It's going to get super hot. You know, this interior, man, has got a ton of room. This is going to take some work really dialing it in. So Heath and John really got to get creative, use this space wisely, and make it comfortable for the whole family to be in it.
You sure you want to give Heath and J-Live just free reign to do whatever they want here?
No. There'll be taco sauce all over this thing.
4 disco balls and 15 speakers right here.
This is a cool ride, right? Yeah, it is, man. You check that thing out. Hey, there's so much room.
Before we cut out any of the old suspension, I asked John and Will to take out the interior so we don't have any fires.
There we go. All right, you take that. I'll go put these in a bag. You can never have enough bags. It's so important to label everything, every little section of the vehicle that you're taking apart. And the reason is, when you go to put it back together, you're always questioning, what did this bolt do? And so the better you label now, the more time you'll save later, and the more professional your job will be.
Man, vehicles came a long way since this was made, huh? First thing we're going to do on this is just rip out all the suspension, motor, trans, rear end, the whole drivetrain. Let's have a bare van body underneath this thing. So we start fresh.
Cool. This van's got problems, I got solutions. I just got the leaf springs cut out and the shocks cut off. Go ahead and raise it up and this thing should just fall right out. I'm gonna do the exact same thing to the front. Since we're going to be pulling the transmission and the engine together, I'm going to go ahead and pop our transmission linkage, shifter linkage, all that stuff. Take a couple bolts out on the bottom. Things should come out pretty easy. Now I got the big factors out of the way. I can come through here and just tear this thing down completely.
Looks good. We're ready to get going on the suspension on this thing. We want this to sit really low, set this thing on the ground with it. We're going to have to do a notch in the unibody here and build notch plates on this structure. We'll build the notch, we'll get the rear end back in this thing, and we'll start building the 2-link suspension on this. Cool. Make a hole. This old van is a unibody construction. What that means, there's no full frame underneath this. The frame is actually built into the body, which gives it the strength and rigidity. All this is in the way, so we're going to start by cutting all this out, get our cross member in, and then we'll go back to connecting it all back together as one.
So you see the line, how everything lines up with the top of the frame rail is exactly how we want it. Perfect line, straight across. It's going to be level with the top of the frame and the bottom of the frame. Once I get this tacked in, I can cut the bottoms of that off to where they're even with the frame. Now that I got the ends cut off, I'm going to go ahead and make all the pieces to box this in. It's all going to be out of flat bar, same size, same thickness. So I'm going to make everything all at one time. I'm just boxing in the C-notch right now. Just all those pieces I cut out on the iron worker, tacking them in, making sure everything's square and true. And just get this all tacked in, weld it up, then I'll be ready to cut out the center.
style, Ryan.
Huh?
You never heard Romeo and Juliet, huh?
That was before my time.
You know, this old Ford Falcon van came with a straight front axle. We're going to convert it to an independent front suspension. Ryan finished the notch on the rear end. Now he's making space for the new front suspension and the cross member.
Alright, so everything's cut out and the cross member is marked up in there, but you can see the direction that we're going to take this. So I'm going to piece everything back to this center section. Basically just start off with these pieces, make them connect, get the side pieces in there, tack everything together, weld everything out, and then we can move on to building our steering, control arms, and everything else.
You know, when a vehicle rolls up this nice, creativity to focus on the details. Things you might not even realize, we customize. So when we're done, you wouldn't even imagine it any other way. What's happening?
Hello, how you doing?
Hey man, good. Juan, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You got your little Cobra, huh?
Yes, sir.
But this thing looks fun, a little replica?
It is a little replica.
You know, these cars are super cool. Original Cobras, 7 figures. Even the replicas are 6 figures. Real or fake, it's still a pretty cool car. What do you got under the hood?
Let's go ahead and take a look.
Man, a little Chevy big block, huh?
Yes, sir.
I definitely wasn't expecting that.
A lot of people usually don't expect that when they see it. It's a 454, plus it has a 400 turbo transmission.
Well, I already know this thing has plenty of power.
That's one of the reasons why I'm here. I need something for protection, something for safety.
It's got that much power?
It feels that way to me.
I can definitely see a roll bar back here. You know, that's one thing it's definitely lacking. And for looks and for safety.
I like it.
I think to really get the feel of it, to really see what you need, I might need to drive this myself and kind of see how it feels, you know what I mean?
Hop on it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, when you're building safety equipment, see what the car feels like.
Sure that when I came in, Bill already knew what I was really looking for. Any excuse to get it out on the open road, hey, spot by me.
This thing rides good, handles good, looks good. But I definitely see what you mean. You know, at times it feels kind of squirrely and unsafe for sure, because it has so much power. I appreciate you letting me drive this thing, really getting a feel for it. It actually does help with the concept of the styling of the car.
Yeah, that's the only true way to get an understanding and seeing the need for it.
For sure.
So, maybe, yeah, it does need it. That was something, wasn't it?
This thing's fun to drive for sure. We'll take care of it for you, man.
I appreciate it.
Let's go do some paperwork.
Thanks, sir.
You know, when you think roll bar, it's just a straight bar with 2 bends and comes down and protects you. When you're designing a roll bar for such an iconic sports car, that's a totally different subject. That not only safety in mind, but something that's totally stylish, and with every angle you look at it, you want the design of the roll bar to flow with the rest of the car.
Oh, here it is. It's not bad, not bad. What are we going to do to it?
We're going to body drop it.
Come on.
No, man. I mean, you see, this thing's missing something.
Missed the roll bar.
You know, this has a big block Chevy in it, runs super good. If he's not paying attention, he's going to need some extra protection for this thing, for sure.
Definitely. That's a good idea.
You've seen the ones with the loop back here, the big bar in the back. We don't want that. We want something that has clean lines with it, something that emulates the front curvature of the glass. So when you're behind this thing, it just matches perfect. And not only from the rear angle or the front angle, from the side too. We want to slope this thing so it all flows together. Once we get it all done, we're going to chrome it too, so it matches front and rear bumpers.
So I understand the idea you want to do. How are we going to angle this down to the frame?
Man, we're just going to put some plates here and bolt it to the fiberglass so it looks cool.
I know better than that.
No. You know, I haven't taken all this apart to really see how to tie it in yet. You know, that's what we need to do next. Strip it out and strip the trunk for a solid foundation.
Okay.
What we're gonna do is get to it.
Yeah, let's do it. It's kind of crazy. That's what holds the seatbelt on.
All right, last piece. All I got left to do is pull this carpet, this padding behind it. Then we'll kind of be ready to start figure out how we're going to put the roll bar in here safe, and then we'll worry about how we're going to style it.
Y'all got it, huh?
Yeah,
How you do that? Man, they're just nothing to tie anything to.
No.
Not only are we going to have to create the roll bar itself, we got to create the structure underneath to hold all this together. So it's going to be a little more complicated than I thought. You can't mount anything to just fiberglass. You got to have a backing support. Perfect. Going to the frame to really make everything super strong and super safe.
All right, man. It's in there.
Then we got our foundation. This is going to be, you know, like the cherry on top of this whole car. Let's get this cut. This will make it or break it. Didn't want to put a roll bar way back here in the back. In my opinion, it looks a total afterthought.
That looks better already.
Right? I want lean and flowing, so we had to cut the corner of the body out. It's a real subtle difference. I mean, that's what you want. When this thing is done and finished and painted, you will never know it was ever messed with because the lines are still going to flow and look like it was originally made like that. We're going to roll this pipe so everything has the same flow. So the same arc for the roll bar as it does for the windshield. So we want something that all plays together. Cool. See, we got our line and our square little box here. So we have 48 inches from here to here, and that's the widest point of the car. So we have to bend this so it fits in this box. Then we know when we take it over to that car, it's gonna fit. This might be a replica of a 1966 Cobra, but it's got a real deal 454 Chevy big block. So the roll bar we're making, it has to protect the passengers above all, while also looking like the Cobra should have from the factory. It's got a pretty damn good flow. Maybe a quarter measure all day long, but especially something like this, it's pretty damn close. Everybody's gonna be looking at it. They're not gonna be measuring it.
Did you ever get in trouble for standing on the couch?
You really want to check every angle. Say that real quick, Jim. You want to really get back and get a feel for the overall car itself in relation to what you're building to it. That looks real good.
I like it. It looks nice.
Let's tack this sucker on. The next step of this thing to making it one whole unit is connecting the outer plate to the inner plate and making that plate go all the way down to the frame. We have our plates on the frame, so the next thing is making the pipe from plate to plate. So we're gonna put the wheel on, drop it down. Let's see where this thing rides at and how much room we have in between the wheel and the bracket. We definitely don't want the tire to rub. That would definitely cause a blowout, and we don't want to test out a roll cage that quickly. Engine on a 1965 Ford Falcon only had 85 horsepower. On the plus side, it was fairly compact horsepower. That thing's cool. A little four-cylinder, huh?
Four-cylinder, 2.3 liter twin scroll turbo, 300 plus horsepower.
Man, that is bad.
They're putting these things in the Mustangs, Ford F-150s. Guys at the track are killing it with them.
That's the perfect combination for this little project.
It is.
Watch your ankles. This thing's light enough where we can just manhandle it up in there from the bottom. Scoot it this way a little bit.
Which way? Forward?
I think you might have to get the lube out, buddy.
It's closer, what? Yeah.
How's it looking back there?
That's all I got. I'm touching the floor back here.
Okay, forward.
This side there.
Go right there. Good. Fits in there good. Got to make the doghouse a little wider. I don't know if we need to make it taller or anything. But let's get the rack on this thing and make sure all this is going to work. And then the fun part, the steering. That's looking real good. Got the radiator in, rack mounted.
Looking all right. You see what I'm looking at, though?
Yeah, you know the next thing is coming. And you got the column out here. The wheels are way out here. It's super easy to connect the rack to the steering. Yeah. But on this, we're going to have to connect the column all the way back here to the rack.
It might not seem that hard, but out of all the ones that I've done over the years, I've never had to deal with this.
Yeah. Anytime you see it when it's done, you go, oh, that's easy.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's figuring it out and getting it to that point.
Exactly.
Always like a challenge.
Yeah, of course.
Let's drop it down.
All right.
What we're doing right now is just putting the column in its place. So everything needs to be mocked up. You know where everything's at before you can start anything. This is just where the factory alignment was. We put it back in the original spot. So next thing is to lift this thing up and start making the snake. You see how much room we have here is not very much at all. So we got the column as far into the van as possible, but it's still a little too long. Let's cut the end of that column off. All right. And then we're going to drill a hole in it all the way through. All right. We're going to cut you a little piece of the double D. So we'll use this little knuckle here. But we can start with this once it's at the bottom of the column. Ain't gonna work. I've never used a double knuckle like that before, and man, it's just lining up.
I haven't either.
The main thing you look for when you're figuring out a steering shaft is make sure all the U-joints aren't in a bind. You want it to be smooth, free, and clear. And double knuckle is too many moving parts all at once. There's no stabilization in something like that, so it's just gonna flop all around. So it's one frustration after another, right?
Oh, man, you said it.
Because we changed the 1965 Ford Falcon van to independent front suspension, we knew getting the steering configuration was going to be a lot of trial and error.
What's up, fellas? Look what I got here.
Buddy? Oh,
fresh out the box.
That's what we need. A 90-degree small gearbox. Hopefully, when we turn left, it goes left. When we turn right, it goes right.
If your calculations are correct.
We'll see once we get all this in.
Cool.
That's how I deliver.
Appreciate it, Tom.
See ya.
It's going to make life a lot easier.
Let's pull the column back. Let's get this in place and slip.
As far as I can go up without taking everything apart.
Up towards the bump. Not quite that far. All right, that's it. Hold it right there just a second. Cool, let's make the bracket for this and just continue the snake.
I'm making a bracket for this steering box to hold it exactly where we want it. Just take a couple pieces of cardboard, make your template, get exactly how you want it, and then boom, go over there and make it in no time.
Yeah. Turn to the right. That's exactly what we needed. Problem solved, man.
I love hearing those words.
Man, it works good.
Awesome.
You know, I was super nervous about how we're going to get this to here. Never done that before. It looks simple now, you know, once it's done, but ingenuity behind it, there's a little bit of figuring. Putting it up, let's get it to the body shop.
Cool.
The roll bar is getting chromed on the 1966 Cobra replica. However, there's one thing still bothering me. There's just a hole drilled in. I mean, I don't get it. I can't believe somebody thought that's a good idea and that would be safe. We have to address this. We're going to come up with a way to make a little bracket to tie it into the frame. That way, this thing is safe and secure, and it's a total, complete, safe package.
a seatbelt on that now.
It's not just the seat belts, the seats are also bolted to the fiberglass. So we're gonna fix that too with some new brackets.
All right, everything looks good. It's all welded in. Should be nice and safe now.
We're gonna push this thing in for a quick body and paint. And then we're gonna install the freshly chrome roll bar.
I'll hand it to you over the car.
Don't scratch nothing. Why'd you have to make it so perfect, Jamie?
We got this build as cool as we can make it. It not only looks better, but what's really important, this thing is a lot safer than when it pulled up. That's how I'd want it for my family, for sure. What's up, man?
Good morning, Mr. Bill. How you doing?
Good morning, man. Real good. You ready?
I'm ready as I'm going to be.
I know when you came in, you know, you had a couple issues with that car. The car looked cool, but there was nothing to keep you safe in that thing. We got you definitely hooked up on this.
That's the reason why I came here.
You ready to check it out?
I'm ready.
Jamie, let's get it.
Ooh, look at that. Man, that's exactly what I was looking for. Classy, elegant, and unique. Seeing the car for the first time, it was like, wow, it's Christmas for me again. Woo-wee. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So you're liking it?
I'm liking it.
Safety was your major concern on this. We addressed that for sure. Built something not only safe for you, but stylish. Rolled some pipe, made it the same contour as the windshield, and also the same angle as the windshield. We actually notched out the corners of the body itself to give the roll bar a little more room in between the seat and the body. So everything just flows together.
I hadn't even noticed until you mentioned it. I mean, it looks like it was that way already.
Right. You know, it's tough to come up with something new on such an iconic car, but as you can see, it's exactly what he wanted. It's all super strong and tied to the frame. You know, while we're underneath the car, we definitely noticed a lot of safety issues underneath this thing.
Blew my mind when I seen this. The seat belts were just drilled through the fiberglass body, just holding in with an anchor and a washer, and that was it.
Man, we couldn't let you roll out like that. You know, all this hard work would have been for nothing if you would have just been ejected out of the car if something would have happened.
You're right about that. I mean, it would have been with this kind of heat, be like scrambled eggs on the sidewalk.
So we went ahead and reinforced it with metal, made everything strong, tied to the frame. Now it's really safe.
That's why I knew that I had to come here. If you would have seen something that was not going to be done right, you're going to handle it and do it right. Safety was my big concern. Now, I can definitely say I feel safe now.
You know, you wouldn't think just a roll bar would give you a different attitude about something. In this case, it definitely does. You feel safer, more confident, and it looks good.
I just want to say thank you to Bill and all his men here at Extensive. They did a phenomenal job. They went ahead and they put a bolt right here, so that way the belt is actually on the frame.
Nice.
Every time I got in the car, I used to be nervous. You don't want to sit on the other side with me? Now I really feel safe. That too. I got the wind in my hair.
We gave the Falcon van a custom air ride, a new steering configuration, and an engine swap. Now the body guys are going to prep the cab for paint. What I don't want it to look like is some 70s peace van, you know, with fluorescent colors or something like that. I do kind of like that. I wanted my first truck kind of that color. It's just fitting to have, you know, the kids have their say-so in the color of the whole truck. I picked a couple of colors because I don't want this van looking cheesy. You don't want a loud, fluorescent, off-the-wall color that next year is going to get old on you. It's a family heirloom. It's going to be passed down to them. So if they pick the wrong color, they're stuck with it no matter what. They picked it. You know, a huge part of the custom world is dads handing down their passion for cars to their kids. That's how we keep this whole thing going. So we just love how Scott's getting it. What's happening?
Hi, Bill. Nice to see you.
I got Heath here. Hi, guys.
Hi, Heath.
You guys ready to pick some colors? He's so shy.
Ready? This is the brown.
No, I don't like the brown.
Okay. There's a green. The green looks cool.
I like the green. Let's see what's next.
Got like a tan, like a goldish tan.
Oh, man.
All right, there we go. All three of them at once.
So vote for my favorite one.
I like green.
Green's your favorite, Cole? What's your favorite?
My favorite is tan.
Your favorite is tan.
All right, Scott. You're the tiebreaker.
Maybe we could do green layers.
So I think it's going to be green.
Green it is. You got it. It's a great choice.
All right, guys. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys. Hey, it was nice to meet y'all.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
Green it is. You know, all honesty, that was the color I was hoping they picked. This green is really going to make the whole thing stand out. With so much space in this van, the sky's the limit. And that's what I asked John to do.
This thing is as big as the sky, so we're going to do a Starlight headliner on it. I'm going to start when I go to put in the fiber optic lights. I'm actually going to be using a needle to poke holes in this, so I need something that's thin enough and easy enough to get through, but yet still strong enough to help hold the form and shape. Hey, look at that. It stayed together. Now that we got the headliner all built, wrapped, and ready to go, the next thing we got to do is we got to install the fiber optic lighting. To do that, I'm going to have to take these fiber optic strands here and I have to poke individual holes for every one of them. I've got 780 of them here. I better get started. I want to try to get this thing done before the real stars come out. There's really no easy way to go about this. It's just going to be time consuming and just got to sit here and do it. You know, it's just going to matter of poking all these holes and running everything through. But the final product will be so worth it. And I think it's really going to have that wow factor.
Rather than using the old windows on that fresh paint, Chad's going to make some new ones by hand.
Okay, what we're doing here is they don't produce a lot of these windows, and it's hard to find one that's in a good shape with no scratches, so we have to make our own. This glass here is actually laminate glass. It's 2 pieces of glass with a piece of lamination, cracks it, it doesn't shatter. And what I'm doing now is I'm scoring the glass to get through the first layer. Well, the glass is really a delicate material, so what I have to do is I have to get in here and I have to break it through. Now what we're doing is we're taking some denatured alcohol and we're softening up the lamination in the center so I can cut through it and get a better finish. There we go. It's time to put it in and see what it looks like. Well, what I'm doing is I'm setting it inside the lip here, and then I gotta tuck a rope on the inside so I can tuck the lip around the pin flow. And we're locking the gasket in. What I'm looking for is making sure there's no imperfections, and the gasket is tucked nice against the vehicle. It's looking good, so it's time to move on to the next one.
After 4 long days of dealing with this and poking all these holes, finally have them all in. As you can see, there's a ton of fiber optics here. What this is basically, that is cast down through the fiber optics, and anywhere that you cut it off at, as you can see, the ends of it will light up. I'm only going to do this 780 times. About halfway there. 780. All right, let's see what this thing looks like. It's looking stellar, you could say. Kids should love it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be like camping out at night. Yeah, just riding along, looking at the stars. All we got left to do now is get this thing installed in the van and get all the trim work in around it.
You know, it's pretty cool. I think back of all the days growing up with my dad, working with my dad. He loved welding and fabricating, you know, and taught me that skill set, and I applied that to the car aspect.
Totally opposite.
Totally opposite for you. Your dad
was everything into it, but not a welder, fabricator, nothing like that.
Me and him are a lot alike. My dad's all in the cars. I would have rather been in the shop with my dad getting dirty rather than sitting at home on the couch.
You know, they inspired us and footprint on our children.
Mm-hmm. Dude, my kid is 4 next month, and he's really taking a liking to all this stuff. It'll be really cool, you know, to see him kind of follow my footsteps.
That's it. Keep it going.
Keep it going, man.
The most important part is showing your kids your passion for something.
Yeah, it just gives them a little want to, you know what I mean? You gotta have that want to. If you don't care to do anything, you're never gonna be good at anything.
Thanks, Dad. You know, the Starry Night headliner is definitely a one-of-a-kind touch, and it just adds all the customization that we've already done to that 65 Ford Falcon van.
That's a pretty crooked board. When I finished up the Starlight headliner in the van, I thought I was done poking holes, but as I sat there, I thought about a way we can incorporate the Starlights into the seats as well. I think I'm hating myself already for coming up with another one of these ideas and these fiber optics, but it'll be worth it in the end. Got this Peruvian walnut all carved out and ready to go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a hand router and create the pocket inside of it. You know, with this thing being handmade, it really looks like it belongs in a 1965 Ford Falcon van. You know, back then, there were still a lot of the cars that were handmade. Now I have to drill 200 holes to run my fiber optics through. I was talking about how I thought I'd learned my lesson on the first go-around with these things, but no. Just going to trim these back. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really cool effect having them in the seats. Kind of seamless all the way from the ceiling into the seats. That's something I've never seen before. So next thing I got to do is pour the epoxy. I want it to match the seats. So I got some dye mixed up to match the leather in the van. I'm going to take my epoxy and get it mixed up. We'll get the color in it, and we'll pour this in there and let it dry. The trick here is to make sure to not overfill it, so just kind of evenly distributing it. You definitely don't want it running out all over the place, so. All right, now that I got the seats all covered and everything, the next thing I got to do is just get the nerve up and cut this thing open. Oh, it's a sickening feeling. It'll so be worth it. Just got to remember that. It'll be worth it. So once I get this all glued in here, then we'll get the emblem in it.
Man, this looks good, dude.
Yeah, man, I think it turned out real nice.
And they're gonna love it, dude.
Well worth it, you know. I can't wait to get it to the kids and let them see this thing.
God and his family have been waiting a long time for this van, and I know they're ready to get it back. Scott's a really busy guy running his construction company up in Chicago, so we're going to ship this van straight up to him. Since this is a family van, I thought I'd ask my kids just to get their take on it, see if it's cool. You guys ready to go home?
Yeah.
Yeah. Been working hard today?
Yeah.
Hey, before we go, I want you to check out something. We just built a van for a customer in Chicago. We got to ship this thing back. But before we do, I want your guys' opinion on this, see how good we did.
Okay, let's go check it out.
You want to see it? Yeah, let's go do it. Come on. Come on. So I want your guys' honest opinion, okay?
Okay.
Not just because I'm your dad. I want you to really tell me what you think, okay? Yes, sir.
We've seen a lot of like what our dad does around here. He just never really asks for our opinions.
This must be like a pretty special one. John's bringing this thing out right now. It's going to be here any second. You know, the moment of truth, I hope they like this. Like it?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's really cool.
The green makes it so good. You know, when this van came in, it was in decent shape, but it wasn't in this good a shape. We had to rip out all the old suspension and we put brand new air
air suspension on this thing. With rack and pinion steering, it drives like a modern car should.
The way it sits, like, really, really, really low to the ground, it's so cool.
Right?
Yeah.
It gives a new little attitude. You know, we spent a lot of time on the suspension and steering on this van, but, you know, the kids would never know that. That's all they want to see is just this thing go down the ground and get really low. And the old engine just wasn't cutting it either, so we got a brand new 4-cylinder turbocharged in this thing.
That's cool.
That's why you hear that nice little blow-off valve when it comes up. It goes, and it's got plenty power. And of course, we had to have upgraded brakes, big wheels, freshened up all the paint, and all new chrome.
And I really, really like the color. I think it makes the van pretty unique.
His kids picked that color out.
They have good taste.
Yeah.
You know, I spent a lot of time on this interior thinking about my kids, his kids, me personally. I love it, but I can't wait to see what you guys think about it. You want to check it out?
Yeah.
Check this out.
That is very
I like the lights.
The stars make that so nice.
John's got a lot of time in this thing.
I spent at least a week poking holes and running lights. By the end of it, I was done with it.
Right.
It looks worth it.
It was well worth it. I'm very happy with it.
That being in this van made it 10 times cooler.
That's stuff we don't see every day in a van.
You guys get in there and check it out.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
They're really comfortable.
Right?
Yeah. I love how many windows there are.
The lights look better up close, too.
You know, you guys are so busy looking up there, you didn't even notice there's no TVs and no screens anywhere in here, right? The whole point of this is family time.
Yeah.
Just being focused on family and the trip and spending time together and not on your phones or, you know, watching a video.
I think these guys' kids are definitely going to enjoy having lots of fun adventures and trips in this van.
I'm already jealous that they get to take a ride in that.
This is my favorite car that you built.
Really? I guess we did pretty good, John.
That's why you gotta make us one.
John did most of the work.
I got my kids' seal of approval, so I know Scott's kids are definitely going to love this van. You know, look at the overall van, the interior. Man, I love this little van. And Scott, I can't wait for you to take your family on the road and really hear about those trips you're going to take together. If you're ever road tripping through, we got to redesign everything.
If it was bolt in and easy, then everybody do it.
We're ready to head to the future.
2020 Freightliner.
Whoa, heavy metal.
It needs to be able to push 45,000 pounds.
45,000 pounds?
We got to put some extensive style in it also.
Oh, I'm definitely going to stay and watch this.
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
See the school right up here on the left? I went there the first year it opened. I was in 8th grade there. This old record's been with me a long time. You know, it's a tool for the shop. I spent a whole lot of time driving it all over Texas and even farther than that. Unfortunately, it's starting to show them years. Can I go? Can I go? It's time to make a change. And today's the day we're going to do that. We're going to get a brand new record. My old friends at RPM build customized records. They told me the new record is ready for pickup. What's happening, man?
What's up, Bill? You doing all right?
Yeah. I really appreciate you taking this thing on trade for me.
We got you. We'll get her fixed up and find a great home for her. Meanwhile, we'll put you in something head to toe under warranty.
Man, I can't wait to see this thing.
You ready to check it out?
I'm ready to check this thing out.
Let's see it.
That thing is bad. I've never even seen one of these on the road.
First one we built, and you got it.
That is cool. I wanted something bigger and meaner. And this
brand new 2019 Chevy 5500 has way more bells and better. I can't wait to load something up on this thing.
Yeah. So we got you the 21-foot bed, stationary pylon. That stationary pylon so it doesn't move, because we never know what you're going to be doing with it. The new frame that they gave on this 4-door is real low to the ground, so you won't have to throw a lot of boards to get your low-profile cars up there.
You know I like it low.
Oh, yeah. No, that's right.
Brian, that's what I've been needing, man. Something really reliable, and it looks really cool, and I really appreciate that.
No problem, Bill.
And, man, you take this one, I'm going to take that one. Thank you. I can't wait. It's like Christmas. Like I'm 10 years old again and Santa just came. I'm always looking for ways we can up our game. And this little upgrade is going to make a big difference. I got a call from my old buddy Jewel. He wanted me to come by and check out a project that he's been working on for quite some time. What's happening, Jewel?
What's going on, Mr. Bill?
How you doing, man?
All right.
This is it, huh?
This is it.
Oh, El Camino, man, you don't see too many of these things.
That's right, Bill. 1973.
The El Camino had a run for almost 30 years. This one is a 4th generation in the past couple of years. We've had our hands on it by building a chassis, adding coilovers, and putting a new 6.2 in it. So I know you already have the chassis done. You already have the engine in this thing. What color is it going to be?
Black, shiny black.
Man, that's going to look good.
That's
There's
right.
only one thing left.
The interior. And that's where you come in there, Bill.
Yeah.
I need the interior to look like the outside of the car. Fabulous.
Well, you know we got you on that.
The reason I want Bill to do my interior because I like how he custom do everything.
So what are you thinking, Jewel?
This car's a 1973, man. I want it to look like a 2073.
So something totally futuristic. Just get rid of everything that's in here and come up with something totally custom.
That's what I'm looking for.
On these old bucket seats, you kind of want to stick with something like that.
What I need old for?
Chunk it. So something just totally unique, totally custom. As far as the dash, we'll come up with something that looks really cool. New cluster that might hold them things in a little better than that. New AC vents. We got to build you a really cool console that flows from the dash all the way back.
That's right.
Totally free-flowing and totally look futuristic.
That's what I'm talking about.
And as far as stereo,
I want them to hear me when I'm coming down.
so you want something loud looking, you want loud sounding.
See, Bill, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
This thing's going to be cool. It's going to be our first El Camino interior for sure. I'm ready. As soon as they get paint on this, have them drop it off, we'll get this thing. This has been a big project for Jewel. It's been years to get just to this point. And in the end, it's the tiniest details that take this whole thing over the top.
Clear? Yeah, we're clear. Coming down.
You know, El Camino is kind of the oddball. It's not really a truck. It's not really a car. So some people love them. Some people hate them. And Jewel loves them. Most definite challenge to make it different, making it futuristic and something that, you know, he can enjoy for years to come that won't be outdated. I'll know this thing is right when people walk up to this. They will automatically think this is a cool custom truck car.
Man, I kind of like these El Caminos, man. They're cool, dude.
Man, I'm not a fan of them. I mean, come on, make up your mind. Do you want a car or do you want a truck? Pick something.
That's what I'm saying, though. You can take it to church, look cool, and then still put your goats in the back. Oh, Buff Man.
Oh, here he is.
Well, you guys know what we need.
A lot, yep.
This thing can be cool. You know, you want something relevant and futuristic that can stand the test of time.
What do you mean futuristic?
This thing is a 1973, and he says he wants a 2073 interior.
All right.
He don't want the same old seats, the same old console, and the same old dash that everybody else has. So we're going to hand make a brand new dash and a console.
Instead of gauges, we did kind of like a Tesla. You know, it has that big touch screen in the middle. We can have all your functions for media on the bottom and then the gauges on the top part of it.
Cool. It just sets this thing apart from everything else. So we got to redesign everything. Headliner, carpet, seats.
What do you mean seats? These seats are futuristic. Check this out.
It doesn't get any more futuristic than this.
no matter how many tacos you eat, you can always get in.
And not only just something that looks good, we want this thing to sound good. I mean, behind the seats,
Plenty of room back there.
have room for whatever you can dream up. If there's room. I know you guys won't disappoint, man.
Never. You ready to head to the future?
2073.
Let's get it.
Because it's a complete do-over, Heath and John are going to take this thing all the way down to the bare metal.
Hey, I'm gonna lean it back. Can you unplug the airbag for me?
Yeah.
This old dash is made of plastic. It's just gonna crack and crumble. There's no way we can fix it. So instead of messing with it, we're just gonna rip it out and build something new. So where we're going, we don't need no dash. Because we're making a new dash from scratch, it means a lot of work.
But it also means we can do whatever the customer wants. And as hot as it gets down here in Houston, he wants it cold. Real cold. Super cold. Normally, when you do an AC system in an old hot rod like this, you would have a flexible ductwork that's squished in certain areas so it slows it down. We're going to go directly to the evaporator, so it'll have a nice amount of air coming out of there. So what we're going to do is build our own vent system off of this. Basically, I'm making a box which will feed into the vent chamber. I'm going to curve this way so it forces the air that way instead of bouncing around in here. Our other vent's going to force it into a Y pattern. It's going to take the air and disperse it across this whole area straight up. Functionality-wise, I think it's going to be good. It's important that we get this plastic weld on the end. Pull it back and then push it forward, and it makes like a little bridge. Looks almost like a MIG weld. It takes a little longer than glue, but it works well. Real good way of bonding those plastics together. A lot of people, they're afraid to do a dash because it is a big undertaking. You can't be afraid. You can't have any fear. Once I built my first one, I was hooked because it really separates you from the crowd. Nobody will have another vehicle like yours. I've done interiors on cars that have been second, third place cars. And we do an interior with a dash in it, and now it's best to show everywhere it goes. So it's definitely worth it.
When a customer comes to us with his dream project like this 73 El Camino, it's on us to create something that's way over what he's expecting. That's why Heath is making the dash completely by hand.
Now what we're going to do is start designing the dash around our temporary vent. So I'm going to build the sides first. This shape right here determines the whole shape of this lower dash. Being that the air vent has got a different arc in the lower portion of the dash, these ribs are different all the way down. As they go and move along the dash, each one of these fits like I want to. It's a little bit extra effort, but it's worth it in the end. We have a structure now. I'm going to go ahead and skin the whole thing with 1/8 inch PVC so it's smooth with as little body work as possible. And then I'll go from there and form the rest of it with a little bit of heat, a little bit of pressure. Got to clip it around that metal on the bottom, line it up with the vent. That's cool. Now I just got to finish everything else.
You're halfway done to 3/4 of the way unfinished.
There you go.
Running it back to the shop. You know, we've done a lot of different builds over the years. Each one has their own little challenges. Any job, when you're building something totally custom, you're doing it for a purpose. This job is no different. The sheer scale of this one is what sets it apart.
What is this?
This thing is a 2020 Freightliner. 37,500 pounds empty. Damn. Right back over. The city has these wreckers well equipped to pull the biggest vehicles out of any jam. There's one problem with this that hadn't been addressed. It needs to be able to push 45,000, 50,000 pounds, off the road. That's not going to do it. Definitely not going to do it. So we need to make a push bumper for the front, and not just regular old heavy-duty bumper with some rubber pads. We got to put some extensive style in it also. It's got to be a custom bumper to be able to handle all that weight.
And this big, massive wrecker can do anything, but once we address the front end and it can push, it'll be able to do everything.
Correct. I'll get the gate. The new wrecker smell. Man, just looking at this truck, you can just see the strength in it. Every part and piece is overbuilt. And we have to take that over the top thinking and really add a lot of strength to the front of this truck. You know, there's a lot of projects that come through the door where, you know, they have to have strength and style, but this one is times 100. It's a cool truck, huh? What we're doing is building a new super strong front bumper that'll be able to push 45,000 pounds.
45,000 pounds?
That definitely not gonna do it. That just fold up like a can. Before we get this thing all stripped apart, let's get some chipboard and really get a visual of how I want the bumper to look. It's supposed to be 24 inches, but you know, that corner right there, if the front wheel goes in a hole, this thing's just gonna dig right in. So the best thing to do is slope it up a little bit, you know, keep it from dragging on a curve and make it look a lot cooler too.
Yeah.
Man, you ready to get that plasma fired up?
Hell yeah. So with this bumper having to push 45,000 pounds, we're gonna have to go with the thickest metal we can. 1/2-inch steel plate on your fingers. Whoa, heavy metal. Telling you, 1/2-inch plate definitely isn't a quick process. With the plate being thicker, the plasma has to penetrate a lot more metal, and it has to move slower so that when it does penetrate, it doesn't give us an angled cut. So have to slow down the whole process so we can get that perfect straight cut. Now just take it off the table, clean it up, see how it looks.
Rudy did a great job burning this out. 1/2-inch plate, super strong. This is exactly what this thing needs to be able to push the weight it needs to push. The next thing we need to tackle is the bumper brackets. We're going to weld this bracket right to the back side of this plate here. Basically, it's going to tie to the front of the truck here and bolt to these bolts here. Then we're going to bend a 90 on it. That's where the strength needs to be to get out here on the side. So it's really critical to build a bracket that's really strong, coming all the way out pretty much to the end of the bumper.
That's hot and heavy.
Got it?
Yeah.
You ready to bend it? Let's bend it. We're gonna bend this at 1 3/4. It's gonna have a lip on it. That's gonna give us our side load. We slide it down this way a little bit. We've never bent the 1/2 inch on this machine before, so okay. Hopefully our brake. Well, that ain't gonna work. You know, with all the flash floods, hurricanes we get down here in Houston, the city wants a bumper on the 2020 Freightliner to be able to push 45,000 pounds. Our new 1/2-inch steel bumper is definitely going to do the trick, but our brake wouldn't do the job, wouldn't cut it. In this case, wouldn't bend it. Luckily, I got a guy right around the corner in the neighborhood. He's got a big enough press to get this job done, and that's where I'm heading right now.
Hello. Tracy, what's up, man?
Not much. How are you? Man, I'm doing good, but I got a little problem.
What you got?
I got a piece of 1/2-inch plate, 6 feet long. My brake just isn't cutting it.
1/2 inch? Come on now.
Can you help me out?
Let's take a look.
I know this is nothing for you,
Nothing.
man.
It's a little baby. we can help you out with this. Piece of cake for us. We do it all the time. We have a 1,000-ton press brake, so that's 1,000 tons of pressure coming down, so they can definitely bend some steel.
So from this line out, I needed 2 1/4. That's why it's at
different tip.
Yeah.
Alright, let's set it up and see what she does.
Compared to the steel that Casey bends from day to day, this bracket is tiny. So with this machine, they're gonna just make sure they get the right angle.
Hey.
This thing bent that like butter.
And now you go like this. Perfect.
Look at it. Man, that's on the money right there. Appreciate that. Thank you, man. This is exactly what we need. It's a perfect 90 degrees. Once we get this on the bumper, it's going to be able to push whatever's in front of it. You better look out. Don't get in its way. The 1973 El Camino was the first generation of the swivel seats. Heath and John have convinced me to keep the swivel. But if we're going to make this design as futuristic as Jules asked for, the rest of the seat has to be totally custom.
As you can tell, this seat isn't very futuristic looking. We're going to strip it down, get all this off, get the foam out of it. We just need to figure out a mount and a shape for our headrest mount that we're going to have on here. This has to go. Coming up with this seat design, I kind of thought of what you would see in, like, sounds kind of corny, but like a spaceship or something, without being too spacey. For this to expanded PVC, we're going to use a router because it's got a flush trim bit on it. We can go all the way around, and every piece we make will be the exact same size. There we go. Looking pretty good. We're going to set it in the car, see what it looks like. So far, I like it. And now we just got to get the foam looking futuristic like the rest of the seat. It's going to look cool.
What we're using for this seat is a high density foam that lets us get a good hard line for our shapes and the design that we're going after. Even though I'm not a huge fan of El Caminos, in all honesty, it just makes me want to take this one over the top even more, so even I love it. Take some PVC, heat mold that into place. We're going to use a weighted sandbag here once it's all nice and hot.
You mean this?
Yeah, go for it. It'll mold and bend in the way we want to, kind of contour to the seat. That way the sandbag gets its hands burnt and not me. The cool thing about doing things custom is you know that no one else is going to have it. It's going to be one of a kind. I like the creative aspect of it and actually making something out of my mind. I tried sitting down at a desk one time. It didn't work out for me. I could not do it. Cool. Then we'll be ready to wrap it. All right, that bad boy's clean, so.
All right, now we're moving into the center console. What we're going to do is build a base that looks like the floor and give the effect of a floating console. So now I've just got to router it out with the router, and then we can start assembling this false floor. Cool, that fits. All right, looks like it's fitting pretty good. Now I got to figure out the sides, make chipboard templates in here, and then replicate those out of 1/4-inch PVC, and then we'll attach it to the side. I can put a little heat to it, fit it a little better around these bottom corners. Especially since we're right next to the gas pedal here, we don't want nothing protruding. It's always good to run a heat gun in 100-degree Texas weather. All right, set this sucker in here. Uh-oh. It's not gonna fit. That's not gonna work.
Even though we're building a custom one-of-one interior on this 73 El Camino, it's definitely not a blank slate. Because we got to build in the confines of the original design of the close creativity happens.
Well, as you can see, this thing isn't gonna swivel. It's too wide here, too tall. We're gonna have to modify this console. So, looks like I got work to do. Doing custom stuff like this, there's always something, man. So, you can't let it get to you. If it was bolt in and easy, then everybody do it. So, it ain't easy being cool. We barely clear, but we clear. Now we can make some plastic. In that there's 3 layers. We have to bend it and then stack and then bend it and stack and bend it and stack. When you heat it, the molecules expand, which is going to push it down. First piece, heat it, bend it, attach it. Second piece, plastic. Heat it, bend it, attach it. Our third piece, heat it, bend it, attach it. Got all that cut out. Grind these corners like I want. Now you can see all three pieces line up. It's gonna give a nice, cool effect, man. Still got some detail work to do, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, man. See what we got. Think it's gonna fit? Yeah. Rudy's done an awesome job getting these half-inch steel pieces ready. Now we can tack them on the truck. Okay, next piece, we got our upper bumper bracket. We'll plug 2 holes in this. We'll be able to bolt that sucker. This really supports the edge of the bumper out here. It's gonna look good. This thing looks mean. Compared to what it was before and what it is now, night and day. Man, let's sit there and tack it. The placement of the bumper pieces are really important to give it the right form and function. Now you hold that big flat bar up against it. It looks like it's too far in on the top. Here, let's just tack it to it. See the long straight edge right there, you can see exactly where the grill is versus the straight edge. It's farther out on this side from the fender to the top of the bumper. Fender, see it? You have the straight edge with the grill and the bumper, you know it's on the money. Pulled it a lot, huh? This thing looks good, huh? Looks damn good. Yeah, we got a great start, but right now it just looks like we found a piece of plate 45 the corners and make the wheel opening continue all the way down into the bumper. So from the side, it looks like it fits the truck. That'll work. Let's go with that. All right.
All right. I think we got enough stitch welds on this thing to transport it over to my welding table. So being our big beefy bumpers made out of half-inch plate, my welding process is going to be stepped up just a little bit. For this one, I'm going to have to crank the speed up and the voltage up. So voltage is how hot you're going to be welding. So for thinner metal, you want to keep the voltage down. That way you don't just burn right through the metal. And for the thicker metal, you want the voltage up pretty high. That way you get it nice and hot and actually penetrate into the metal. You want your wire speed up high. Because you're burning really hot, you want there to be enough material to come out and burn into the metal. Well, it looks like we're done welding our bumper completely out. What we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and grind down our welds on the top of the bumper and the front of the bumper, make it look nice and smooth, and then send it over to powder coat.
It floods, which is the whole reason for the new bumper for the 2020 Freightliner. Because sometimes the city has to push big rigs out of the way and fast. Now that the bumper is back from powder coat, it's time to cut some rubber for an extra layer of protection. Is you? Man, I need some speakers in here, man. It's a push bumper for the big 18-wheeler record, so we need to clad the front of this with rubber. What I need your help with is making a jig for this thing so we can stick the rubber to it and route it. There's no way to do it with a razor knife.
You never want to mess your rubber up.
You know, this is definitely one of those steps that nobody ever knows that you do. We're taking the time to make sure all the edges, sure this is right when it leaves and looks as good as it can. Man, let's make it just a little cooler. Maybe 3 lines in here. You know, we'll cut out little windows in this. It won't affect anything when it's pushing, but it'll give us a little more color on the front. If we could just spend a little bit more time to make it a lot better project. Man, it makes me sleep better at night. Ooh, thank God it didn't break that. Really appreciate your help. All the edges look real good, nice and straight and clean. Flip this thing over, put the lights on, and we'll stick it on the truck.
Start pushing some stuff over, huh?
We gotta test it out with something. Maybe we'll test it out with heat.
I don't know if it's that strong.
What are you doing?
We just built the bumper on Big Wrecker, right?
I want to test it. You're gonna push the toter.
Yeah,
with the wrecker.
Rudy's backing it up right now. You wanna check it out?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna stay and watch this.
Statement for sure.
That thing looks really good. It fits the truck now, like perfect.
Yeah, and this bumper ain't no punk either. That's not 1/4 inch plate. That's 1/2 inch thick.
You're definitely not gonna bend that one.
No,
just fits and flows like it came with the truck. From the engineering to the form to the function to the overall style, the looks. Yeah, I did a real good job.
That's the point, right?
Look just as good as I do coming down the road. Anybody else hear that dog?
From where this thing was, it was just weak. And now, this thing is super strong. And if Timmy's impressed, you know we built something cool. It definitely looks good, fits good. We want to make sure it works good.
Time to push.
Well, the heaviest. Rudy, you ready? Let's see what it do. Ain't nothing to it, Rudy. Man, got it, man.
And no flex at all.
Man, no problem.
That's form and function right there.
Right? No problem at all. 45,000 pounds is nothing for this bumper. I definitely think not only looks good, works good, functions good, and is super strong.
And y'all didn't tear up the toter, huh?
Yeah, I know you was worried about that. Before we took on the interior, we've been working with Jewel on this 73 El Camino for a while now. We installed a new LS, and Matt's getting this thing running.
Now that we got the motor all in it, I got to finish up a couple little things, and hopefully with some luck, it'll fire right up. This is an LS3 throttle body. We just got it painted to kind of go with the overall appearance, better look. The throttle body allows, when you hit the gas pedal, the accelerator pedal, it'll open up and allow the air to flow in. I'm going to go ahead and put the cold air intake on that we had made for it. They're not made to go in the cars we put them in, so there's always little quirks that we got to work. They're flexible, so you can kind of bend them out of the way as you need, keeps them away from the headers. They can handle some heat, but direct contact isn't good for them. Now we're going to try to start it and see where we go. Everything's looking good. This motor sounds strong. We're ready to get this thing on the road and see what it can do.
You know, door panels are just one of those things you may never even notice. When a customer like Jewel says he wants something futuristic, something like no one else has, hand-making custom panels, well, that's everything.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to scavenge this lower portion of the door panel. The only piece I really need is this top rounded edge. And I can make it myself, but it just saves me a lot of time. Now we've got these taken apart, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start our template process. To get our template, I have to destroy this panel now. It's going to piss off El Camino owners because this is probably a hard panel to find for some people that don't want a custom interior. Now it'll be useless when I cut this pocket out, but it's perfectly useful for me because I need to make a template. So go find another one sometime. You find little tricks that make it go faster. And more important, you make it look like you have it in your head the first time. However, it takes a long time to get to that point. What I'm going to do is a technique called kerping. Kerping is a process that allows me to bend the material. And I'm going to put the fiberglass reinforced filler on there, which will hold that shape.
Use this piece to kind of mark the bottom of that dash.
So when I make my inserts, it's all going to line up and the lines are going to flow correctly. To me, that's one of the biggest things, is that everything lines up, everything flows, and looks like it belongs. It was done correctly with a purpose. Perfect. Our base panel lines up with the base panel of the dash, and our bottom side lines up with the bottom of the dash. That's good. So we just got to duplicate it on the other side. Man, it's going to look really cool.
Now that we got the console laid out, it's where it needs to be. Next thing, and the most important thing we need to do, is put some tunes in this car. I'm gonna go with a smaller driver, put it in a ported enclosure. That way I can tune the enclosure, get more bass out of it, and we'll really make something cool in the back of this car. All I want to do now is cut a hole for the woofer and a hole for the port. And just like that, hole in the box. Basically what the port does is it tunes the enclosure, get this sound real nice and crisp and tight and solid. We're going to run with a 14¼ inch port. The longer the port, the lower the tuning frequency. This box is tuned at 32 hertz. Now that we got the port in the box, all I got to do, put a little sealant around the outside. I'll run on the inside with some liquid nails to hold it in place good and solid. This box is finished. What up, man? What's up, brother? I got us a box.
All right. With all we're doing, the speaker box on its own just ain't gonna look right.
Yeah, so it's got to look seamless, so we're making a panel to blend it into the entire design.
It's gonna be dope.
We're trying to get some depth on the box, give it some dimension, instead of just being a square box back here, because we don't want a big block on the side of this thing when you open the door. We want it to be nice and flowing from the doors all the way to the dash. This thing's gonna be cool. The next thing we want to do is start working on the bottom. And I'm gonna kerf it, that way it'll bend and we'll get a nice curve to go back in on itself and get a good shape on this enclosure.
Now that we have the curved wood in here, we just need to get it to fit just right and we'll fiber all it in. The main important thing to me was this transition, making these curves more natural looking, helps it all flow back into the car. We don't want it to end, so we're going to continue it all the way through, make one complete piece of art. It fits the panel real good now. We just got to do some grinding, shaping, body working, and she's ready to wrap.
You just made that sound like it was like 10 minutes of work.
It is. I ain't doing it. The technology and stuff that everybody has nowadays, it's setting a precedent right now where everything looks machine made. Yeah. And I didn't get into this to be a CAD man, you know?
No, not at all, you know.
I got into this to build cool stuff.
We try to use the machinery as much as we can to speed up some processes, but you still have to have that organic feel. When I got started, computers weren't even around. I know how to turn them off and turn them back on.
Yeah.
That's see if I broke it or not.
If it's not working, turn it off, turn it back on. Or just go make it by hand.
Yeah. It's a lot easier that way sometimes.
What drives me crazy is, you know, people will spend all this money on paint, wheels, tires, suspension, and they get to the interior and they just tint the windows or just say, oh, well, I'll just paint some pieces.
Yeah. Too many times you walk up to a car and you're like, man, that is nice. And you miss that point.
Exactly. That's where you're at in the car. You know what I mean? That's what you see.
Spend all your time inside the car.
Inside the car. Hopefully, if it's built right, you're not working on it on the outside all the time. You're driving it. Originally came in wanting red interior on that 73 El Camino, but that classic red, it just doesn't scream the future. So we changed it up, with his blessing of course, to a clean, modern blue leather.
We got our seat ready to wrap, and we got this blue leather here. We'll give it good contrast with the car, give it a nice futuristic feeling. We'll take the patterns that I just made, cut it out, glue them to some foam, hit the sewing machine. You know, when we're doing our custom seats, they're far different from doing any factory seats. Our factory seats already have patterns. Everything on these have to be figured out, you know. There is no rule book on how this is supposed to go together. You just gotta kind of shoot for the stars.
Now, we move on to wrapping everything. Let's start working my way through the door panels and move on and get the whole car done. Gotta wrap each individual piece, reassemble, put back on the vehicle, and repeat that process over and over again.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
Man, this thing came out pretty cool, dude. Yeah. Got the gauges up there, all connected through OBD2 and Bluetooth. So it just transmits all the data from the motor to the tablet.
And radio and media center, everything at the bottom. I like that, man.
Got that trim panel for it? Yeah. Let's see how she looks on there. Yeah, see, that finishes it off nice.
You know, El Caminos have always stood out just for what they are. Part muscle car, part truck. But I can safely say there's never been another one created like we made here. So we're going to take Jewel back to the future so he can see his 2073 interior for the first time. Jewel, what's happening, man?
Hey, what's going on, Bill?
What do you think about this place?
Man, this is a nice place here.
You gotta set the tone, right? You wanted something futuristic? You know, what better place to give you this thing back than a DeLorean Motor Company?
I can't wait to see it, man.
This car I know has been a labor of love for you. You've been waiting on it for a couple of years. We built it in stages for you. We built the chassis, the new LS in it, good brakes. You wanted...
I'm tired of hearing you talk about it. I want to see something.
I know you gotta be
I want to
waiting.
see something.
Man, let's check this thing out.
All right. I know that ain't it, man.
That's the same one, man.
Bill, that's what I'm talking about. It look mean when it comes to you.
Gotta be some presents when it's coming at you, right?
Bill, totally different car, man. Totally different car. Ooh, man, look at that steering wheel,
He's
man.
the one that's, you know, created this interior, this thing.
Man.
Ooh, I love you for that, man. I love you, man. Come on, man. Give me a hug, man. I love you for that, man. Man. Car look real good, man. I'm talking about real good. It can't look no better.
You know, when it came in, man, it was rough. It's definitely took some time, but it's been a labor of love to really make you something special.
When you said 2073, you weren't playing around, Bill. Ooh. Man, it smells brand new. It smells brand new. Look at them seats, man. Them seats just make me want to just sit on them.
That seat isn't something you can just go buy. These guys shaped every part and piece of this,
Man,
and then they wrapped each
I can hear that seat
individual
calling
piece.
my name now, man. That seat is calling my name, man.
When it first came in, the dash that was in there just wasn't gonna come from scratch. We handmade everything on this thing. We heated and molded all these pieces to get that futuristic shape. See, you see that big line in the middle of the dash?
Yeah.
You know what that is?
What's that?
That's your air vent. When you turn your AC on, it blows a solid line of air right at you all the way across.
And y'all done took it to another level. A whole nother level. Oh, man. The seats, the headliner, center console, carpet, everything match. Can't ask for it to be done no better.
What you don't see is any gauges in the dash. Yeah. That's where they come up with something really cool.
That tablet has all your gauges up top. That lower one down there has your radio.
2073.
That's what I'm talking about.
2073.
Tell them about the system in it.
Yeah, we got a Rockford Fosgate 5 channel in here. 10-inch subwoofer. We put on one side, kind of like they would in the future. You have components in the kick panel, and everything's run off a cool app that works just like a radio, but you got navigation, you got everything.
I ain't even seen this in the new cars yet.
Right? I'm just really impressed with the interior in this. I mean, starting from scratch, building something that's never been seen before, and giving Jules something really that's amazing. You know, shoot, I'm even amazed myself. I can't say enough about, you know, Heath, John, all the guys at the shop. They always step up, putting their heart and soul into...
I'm right on up, because I ain't never seen nothing like this. Man, this is everything I can ever want. Come on, man, give me another hug, man. Give me another hug, man.
I'm glad you like it, man.
Yeah,